Onyx, but again, it's still very close because of the discipline of Blacklist International. They're not giving up so many opportunities to get picked off by Onyx. If they don't get the turtle, that's it. They're gonna back off. Now though, once the Lord fights start coming up, that's gonna be the big question. How much are teams gonna be able to, or how much are they willing to commit in the Lord fight?
Oh, they left Owl to his own devices. That's dangerous. I wonder if they can get one back from off top. It's 3 on Edward. Make that 4. Here comes Wise. Oh, they intercepted Zui.
Yeah, a lot of focus there. You know, this is about what Wise can do in the box shot. He can get around the map very quickly, but still, how does this turn out for the team fight for them? Owl's going to start to shine here.
Yeah.
You can already see it, right? So, again, this is what we were talking about in the draft, where both these teams, the pacing is set by the roamers, which they've done. Pacing is kind of steady, right? But now, we're at the point in the game, especially with this Lord coming up here, where both gold laners, this is their time to shine. They've had the past 9 minutes to pretty much have a good time farming up, and now it comes down to how do they turn this team fight around in their favor with everything they've farmed up up to this point. You can even see the XP laners making their way for this Lord Dance.
This is Lord Dance started early. Again, as soon as the Lord spawned, both Insui and Wise were at the scene, and there's a Numinum Blast coming in. Moy Venus. Super Prince still has the RWM. Oh, look at Edward.
Okay, push Nets back. Oh, they're down a couple of the ultimates though. Now Wise in the real world manipulation. They get the wild card. Kekadu still survives though. Edward does chase him down. Finds the kill here. Now with the numbers advantage, Blacklist International can go ahead and start this Lord. It was quite messy. Sensui getting some warning shots from Owl. Edward on the hunt to push him back further.
Wow.
Nets quite low, has to get out, and just like that, Blacklist International turning things around in that fight. They give up the 3 turtles, but they get the Lord.
Masterfully done. This is exactly what Blacklist was planning to do all along. They've actually conditioned Onyx PH to try and stop the Numinum Blast, but at the end of the day, that's not what mattered.
Yep, the Starfield, the real world manipulation coming out of UA on point. Kekadu got caught with his pants down, and for a moment, it seems like Onyx forgot that Blacklist International's XP laner is a joy. One of the most punishing to go up against, the kill chaser for the lineup, and instantly we saw it. Once Kekadu was low, even though he committed that flicker, Edward came in for the chase, and then Edward single-handedly stopped the other members of Onyx from being able to contest. A small window of opportunity was what Blacklist found. They kicked the window down and have made themselves a door.
Essentially what that does is it isolated Nets, and you saw the Beatrice was pushed back all the way into their orange buff, and that was just off timing completely. And now it's Blacklist's time.
Wow.
They're the ones who are dictating the pace, they're the ones pushing lanes, and up top, Owl takes down a tier 2. Bottom might be up next.
Like, if you think about it, with the lineup from Blacklist International, the fact that they can push Onyx Philippines back with just Edward on Joy, but also Owl, now that he's online with his quad. Charge up though, combined 2 with Numinum Blast. Most RDO coming out, Nets does fall though, and now they're trying to fire back out quite low. Falls himself 3 down for Blacklist International, what looked like a fight that was theirs. They lose the members here. Still going, Edward. 2 versus 1, make it 3 versus 1. He has to get out of here. He already had used the ultimate. Super Friend's gonna flicker in. Edward, can he escape it? He bombs, he weaves. Edward lives to fight another day.
Abunjing gets away with it. And this Joy is exactly why you should ban the hero. He got away with so much.
That was 3 versus 1.
3v1. I really thought he was down for the count, but somehow he made that Joy look like it had a flicker on. But no, that is still a vengeance on that Joy. And now Onyx, though, they made a terrible situation into something good. They walked away with 3 kills. They couldn't get Edward up, and Ryota in a dire situation.
Okay, Ryota. I don't think he's going to be like Joy. Not going to be able to escape this 3 versus 1. Finally falls to Owl. Sensui was trying to get there, but look at the top side.
Yeah.
They're putting some pressure here. Going to look to get this tier 2, Kekanud and Nets. Looks like they're going to be happy with that and back off.
Very disciplined, these 2 teams. We saw what Blacklist International did to the map of Onyx after they took the turtle. Now, after finding a breath of fresh air, countering Blacklist International's attempt at the mid lane, they got towers up top.
Okay, there's the Numinum Blast, but there's going to be no follow-up. Super Friends just going to take that one, and now Lord is up once again. Both teams looking to get in possession here.
So far, so good. That last engagement where Onyx punished Blacklist over Zealous engage in mid puts him at about a 50-50 chance. Like, this Lord is at least a Lord that they can contest. Now, it's Luminous, folks, and it will charge into main objectives. And, man, the pressure that Edward is putting on the map is pushing Ryota's Arlot away. I'm not feeling this Arlot, not quite yet.
Yeah, because of both teams drafting really well for team fights, Onyx leaned in on that idea really hard, which meant that Blacklist got to pick a hero that can team fight incredibly well, but at the same time also create space for the rest of the map that this Joy is a problem. The split pushing, the side towers for Onyx, that they might end up having to face 4v4, which will turn into a 4v5 because Edward will be able to get back to the fight in time.
Gentlemen, Owl just stole the purple. Sensui and Super Friends are purpleless.
Well, still, even given the situation, this is just dragging out that Lord Dance even further. Hopefully they can utilize what they've stolen, but for Onyx Philippines, they're doing a great job at really just extending this and even dealing with the pressure that Edward is putting on the top and now even focusing a little bit on the bottom side here.
Now, we're seeing exactly how Blacklist is setting this up. Again, they're taking their time, they're giving the orange over to Owl, and look at where Yu is putting himself. I'm not sure if Super Friends has an ult yet. Oh no, he has the rhythm and beats.
Has the ultimate key abilities up for both teams. On the Valentina though.
Okay, he decided to go ahead and use it, but again, still, Super Friends also has that Joy ultimate. Look at that, the pressure on the backside! Super Friends does survive, but Nets left all alone. The pressure was too much. Now caught in their RWM. Ryota trying to get out of here on this Arlot. Will he be able to escape? Edward goes in, there's the final slash. He gets back though. They try to counterpunch. Ryota still amidst it all. 3 versus 3 in the jungle. Kakadu with the wild charge. No follow-ups just yet. They get the flicker out. Edward pushing them back. Whole lot of action. Nobody falls here. And now Lord again for Blacklist International.
They're short on firepower. Onyx PH may have found the perfect counter engage, but Nets wasn't around.
Nets was down, and a Valentina at this point not yet enough in terms of damage. There's a lot of control for Onyx, but you said it, Leo, not enough firepower without that Beatrix. Onyx were WTD, way too deep. They forgot they didn't have their second tower in mid. That was an easy conceal, rush, ultimate catch ball by Blacklist International. Hell of a play there by Oh My Venus and the rest of Blacklist.
And now with just spending one flicker, right? Blacklist are at the cusp of penetrating Onyx PH's base. Check mid here. Lord's gonna crash in, and just like that, permanent damage. Onyx PH have to consider.
They're gonna get wise. They should be able to get him down here. Still has the immortality team following up there. The cancel comes through. Wise still alive. Bobbing and weaving for a little bit longer, but Super Friends finally getting the kill. They still got the Lord. They finally get that down as well. The damage is done though. They lost the mid turret. But Onyx Philippines still staying in the game here.
Again, this is good news, bad news for Onyx. They can clear waves. They're online again for most of the game, whether they're playing early, mid, late, ultra late. But Blacklist's execution, Blacklist's approach to these team fights have been, I'd say, almost spot on in the later half. Starting at 8-9 minutes, they've been catching on and creeping.
Yeah, Athena's shield's already in the hands of the Joy, and the Claw Kakadu down low!
This is bad. Okay, the Numenal Blast gonna land. Kakadu flickers out. There's the follow-up. Owl comes in. UA grabs the kill though. Still the pressure is there. Edward doesn't have the ultimate available just yet, but looking for an angle here that he can find one. Super Prince goes in. There's the final slash too. The shutdown comes through. Sensui as well, still on the hunt for Owl. Owl can't get away, pops the win chance, but it's not enough. Sensui grabbing another one, 3 down for Blacklist International. Onyx Philippines with a huge play as they march down the mid lane.
Deja vu, but this time around, Onyx might actually capitalize. They're converting into mid.
Onyx Prince, that was promised with a massive Numenon blast. As of Valentina, it's just Venus and Wise. The Royal Duo, can they hold on here?
They can hold on. They got 1 minute to work on. Another wave coming through. They've got a couple seconds for Edward and UA. They've got to buy time. Numenal Blast can charge up. Final slash and Nets goes in. Takes the crystal out. Taking game 1 for Onyx Philippines.
Massive The Prince that was promised started it all, and Onyx PH capitalized. The smoothest sidestep as a Matrix I've seen in a while. If he got caught in that Numenon blast, Nets couldn't have ended it. But Nets said, hey man, it's a normal day. Nothing but Nets.
It seems like it was conditioning level on level. Early game, Onyx was just taking turtles. Not a single one given to Blacklist International. And then towards the mid to late, Blacklist were just calling shots like, no, take the fight now or else you lose.
So this is the start of what we saw their last meeting,
Exactly.
right? Where
And-
Onyx took that game 1.
But the story then was very different.
It's different.
It's very different. This was, again, the third part of the layers of conditioning is, all right, that's how you want to play. We just need one more engage, much like that. And Onyx PH flicked the switch, and Blacklist wasn't ready.
That's what I love so much there, and we talked about this a bit in the draft, and I know Renmar will point this out when his breakdown, but the counter play ability from Onyx Philippines lineup was so good. That counter punch, right? Because every time from Blacklist International, it was go, go, go. If they didn't land a Numeron blast, it was the rush of Joy and Claude. And they went for that back line, and like you mentioned already, sidestep amazing, but even Super Friends, just perfect decisions there.
And that's what's scary. Again, you see Blacklist International, how in the best position, their lineup has all the damage. Their lineup has all of the initiation. Just a single flicker can take care of things. But Onyx PH had utility up the wazoo. They could have won from any angle, and they did just that here. Renmar, tell us how exactly they did that.
Very disciplined decision making by these two teams, knowing their strengths, their limits, and their weaknesses. First, focusing around the team fights with the major objectives. Those are the strengths of both of these teams, and they both drafted lineups great with team fighting. But then, as the game dragged on, it got to the point where, of course, it'll be more on full-on 5v5s, as we say it. Those get to play better, and gentlemen, I said earlier I wouldn't be surprised if this game only has like around 15 kills. It's a total of 15 kills for this game. Very disciplined decision making there, and it is the utility of one Valentina. Leo said conditioning, layers of conditioning. Get used to us approaching a certain team fight or a certain situation in a certain way. For the longest time, Super Prince was rocking one ultimate, the real world manipulation. In the clinching, game-turning, game-winning moment, he had the Numenon Blast on him. For the longest time, Blacklist was so used to real-world manipulation. Where's the Starfield of the Eve on the hands of a Valentina? Oh no, this time it was a Numenon Blast, and then they got caught out. These two teams drafted and played around the eventual scaling of their gold laners, knowing that they both have a relatively similar chance of being able to get the turtles. Although Onyx and Joe, it was a little less 50-50 in terms of who could get the turtle, a little bit more 75-25. Hopefully my math is correct there, because of just how Onyx positioned in the team fight and how well early on the key ability of Blacklist International, their team fighting, the Numenon Blast, is easily cancelable by a lot of the hero ability kits that Onyx PH has. Now, another key factor here though as to first why Blacklist International got the lead suddenly after getting that Lord was their decision making in the team fighting, and the fact that they knew that the lineup of Onyx PH, just like them, is strong as 5. As long as they can take down 1, which earlier then was Keka do it, then we have good control. So the punish mentality of Blacklist, one little bit of extension from Onyx was punished immediately. But in the end, it was Super Friends, the Friends that was promised of Onyx PH, coming up big as a Valentina, the clincher Numenon Blast. Again, the theme of conditioning, getting used to the game, going a certain way, suddenly surprising your opponent by changing one thing. And for the Super Friends of Onyx PH, it was which ultimate that he got. And it made a lot of sense as to why Onyx would always want to get either the ultimate of the Joy or the ultimate of the Eve, was because they needed more magic damage to match the magic damage that Blacklist can bring out. Again, let's talk about the age-old principle of drafting for MPL Philippines Season 11, having more than one magic damage option, 2 very solid ones, or 1 solid one and 2 okay magic damage options, so totaling to 3. Blacklist International had that condition checked out for them. They have the Joy, they have the Eve, and heck, they even have a Baksha, who the Tortoise's Puissance we know deals magic damage. So, Onyx PH, of course, you'd always want to get the magic damage ultimates that Blacklist International have, because you needed to match that. Because we saw without nets, they severely lacked firepower. They answered Blacklist draft with good control, and when you think about it, they have the tools in terms of stopping or tempering the members of Blacklist, the heroes of Blacklist, but can they finish them off was the question. So the condition here for Onyx was checked out. They just really needed to find their moment. Very disciplined game by these two teams and play around counter punishes, overextensions, and surprises. Onyx was able to tick that there right at the end, and with a beautiful sidestep by Nets, secured the victory, the game number 1 for Onyx PH. And I'm excited to see what game number 2 and maybe even potentially game 3 has in store for us, because so far we understand the series very well. Everything we've discussed has been shown by these two teams.
It's this game here and that performance in the last 5 minutes that really helps just hammer in the fact that Onyx PH Season 11 might be the new Poison.
Yeah,
The new Lassen.
Yeah,
the new Lasso.
Lasonic.
Sonic. I like that.
I like it.
We put it in.
I give it.
Real quick, we would like to remind everybody that Season 11 playoffs is confirmed. It's happening May 4th to 7th. It's coming back home to the halls of SMX. And we would like to invite everybody to get their early bird passes, all right? Tickets will be available via tickettome.net starting April 3rd. So that's about 3 days from now, all right? So secure your tickets now. We would love to see you back in SMX for the Season 11 playoffs. Now, back to the matchup. Again, I didn't even notice that Onyx was playing with fire there, just picking up 1 magic damage source. Like, I would have just blasted another team for the fact that they did that, but they made it work.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for them.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about it in just a bit, but for now, let's go ahead and throw over to the lovely Mara Aquino before we get back into game 2.
May kasama tayo dito, ang resident pretty girl mula sa MDL, Antianara!
Hello, hello, hello!
I love it that you're here. So, walang MDL ngayon.
Yeah, wala. Because the regular season of MDL Philippines Season 1 just ended yesterday.
Oh,
my
summary!
goodness.
Summary! Anong happening now?
Okay, so meron ng top 6 teams for MDL Philippines Season 1. Tapos, na-secure na nila yung playoff seed nila. And super exciting to see kasi the playoffs will happen on April 21 to April 23.
Ooh, ang daming ganap sa
Yeah.
April. Okay, kung meron tayong, let's say, mga top 2 players sa MDL,
Yeah.
sino yon?
Okay, off the top of my head, the one that came to mind was Daddy JP from Echo.
Ooh, JP? Oy, kilala natin yan.
Yeah, and then Takenaga from Game Lab.
Takinaga, sino yung top 2 teams ngayon?
Yeah, Echo and Game Lab.
Oh, Echo and Game Lab talaga.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Pero ang alam ko sa Echo, talagang lahat sila nakalaro na dito sa MPL.
Yeah, so far, all of the players of Echo have played already in the MPL scene. And then, yung XP laner nila, which is James, already played also for Next Play EVOS before.
How is it like yung MDL vibe natin?
I think MDL was
First
really
ever.
fun. Yeah. Considering that we are on our pilot season, everything was really laid out properly and everyone was really having fun. So given that, parang nagpapakitang gilas talaga yung mga amateur teams natin, and right now they're developing.
Okay, let's invite everybody. Let's invite everyone to watch MDL right now.
Okay, everyone, watch the MDL Philippines Season 1 playoffs from April 21 to April 23.
Pero ito, meron tayong isa dito from MDL.
Ay, opo, meron po talaga.
Okay, how about kamustahin natin siya?
Let's go!
Bridget! Where are you? Bridget! Si Brigida! Brigida, hi!
So, kumusta ka naman?
Parang ready ka, sinabihan ka ba na pupunta kami dito? Medyo. Medyo?
Medyo.
Oh, okay. Si Bridget, si Brigida, ay mula sa MDL. Ngayon, may MPL debut. Kamusta?
Sa trio.
Sobrang saya. First game pa lang yun eh. Parang hype na nga ako eh. Pero despite it just being one day, gusto ko talaga siyang maging memorable. Hindi lang para sa akin, pero sana pati rin sa mga nanonood ngayon.
Kinakabahan ka ba? Kinakabahan ka ba? How are you feeling?
Sabi sa akin kasi kabahan daw ako kapag hindi na ako kinakabahan.
Sino nagsabi niyan?
Lahat sila.
Lahat sila. Okay, sino ang mentor mo dito sa MPL?
Kayo! Ay, ako ba? Kayo!
Pero sa casting.
Marami.
Oh,
Yun yung
marami.
masasabi ko talaga dito sa talent pool and sa industry in general na parang sobrang willing magtulungan yung lahat. Kaya parang pag nagsimula ka na dito, pag pumasok ka na, literal na mahahanap mo talaga yung reason para magstay. Kasi may in love ka na, ganun.
Okay lang yan, huwag kang umiyak.
Sa
Huwag kang
industry.
umiyak.
Kanino ka nang
Sa industry.
As your mentor, wag na muna. Okay, ikaw kailan? Kailan ka kaya?
Hindi ka rin maya eh.
Okay, pero madalas kayo nagpa-partner, di ba? Sa
Yeah.
MDL. And how is MDL like for you?
For me, ano din siya, like, super fun and at the same time, medyo free ka kasi talaga. Like, aside from yung ang saya mag-denim coat,
Set
mag-bar.
it. Ito po ang denim coat namin.
Ayan.
Patingin.
Ayan.
Oo nga, sa
Dala ko
MDL
siya.
ganito. Ay, ang ganda. Natatanggal ba to?
Hindi. Kailangan model.
As the
Ganon.
lucky
Oh,
charm.
sige. Hawakan ko to. I-model mo the way you would put it on for MDL.
Oh, dali. Let's give it up for Bridget Ramos!
Brigida!
Ah!
Ayan! Okay.
Hindi ko kaya.
Hindi mo kaya.
Okay, kamusta when you first started? Ano ka daw eh? Nadinig ko dun sa cast mo kahit kahapon pa lang, nervous ka na.
Parang naiisip ko na agad kahapon yung pressure of making an MPL appearance. Kaya parang hindi ko maiwasan na parang mapaisip, kabahan, tas madala siya and na-compromise yung pag-enjoy ko dun sa kinas ko kahapon, which I eventually realized, dapat hindi ko hindi ma-enjoy yung ginagawa ko kasi hindi na siya, parang mawawala na yung essence. Kaya ngayon, parang minimake sure ko na, oo, may kaba ako onte, pero i-enjoy ko talaga siya.
Okay, you're doing such a good job. Pinapakinggan kita kanina, nag-iingay na sila lahat. Okay, alam ko ikaw yung nandun sa desk na yon. Okay, gawin mo yung ginagawa ko, i-throw na natin sa inyo.
Okay, dahil ako ay kinakailangan ko ring bumalik. Casters, wait lang muna. Balik na sa inyo after a few moments.
That's never happened before. I swear. The caster has never thrown to themselves.
Yeah.
At least for the Tagalog broadcast. But for us here, we're all just proud dads.
Yeah, proud dad moments for all of us here. Of course, Brigida going through the caster search. Not even the most recent one, the first one.
My batch.
2 years,
Yeah,
2 years
your
back.
she was a batchmate of yours in the caster search, and really she's put in all the work. And I am not tearing up. Why am I tearing up? It's just so cool seeing her here.
It's all right.
I'm proud of her. I'm very proud of her.
We're proud.
Yeah.
Nice, it was everybody's dad.
Yes.
Yeah, he's my dad, daddy.
All right.
Now, back into the matchup. Again, real quick for all those who just joined us after that heartwarming talk with our MDL talents. Onyx is leading after just from out of nowhere, underneath, Blacklist Nose pulled the rug and went straight for a blitz down mid, broke down their base. We're sitting at match point. This is scary. If you're Blacks International, how do you address this sudden change of the winds?
I think they go Ube. Like they go with a version of it. Well, okay, they aren't going to be on the first pick side, right? They're going blue. So even if it still is technically Hack Venus, right? You can actually play around with this, so the order of the drafting and play with it in your favor. Because yeah, I think given how the previous game went, again, it was kind of for the most part really even. You know, up until what the first Lord, like 9-minute mark, I would say. Yeah. The turtles were all secured by Onyx Philippines, which they did a great job with that. So if you're Blacklist International, you really want to contest those, which maybe the weak link there was that Baksha pick, not really able to fight in those kind of that situation around these objectives, and start from there.
If the Baksha was good for anything, it was again the rotational speed. Going across the battlefield, pressuring different parts of the map, but it does still feel like a band-aid solution.
And now, Blacklist International, all I can say is this. They shouldn't overthink this game number 2.
Yeah.
Game number 1 was very close. They contested, they got the Lord, they were in the lead. It just boiled down to one moment not going their way and Onyx having a brilliant counterplay. But they shouldn't overthink it. It shouldn't be a massive shift. It shouldn't be away from who they are as a team. Don't go away from their identity. It did well in game 1.
And I think that's exactly what went down behind the scenes. As Blacks International went past us here in the crowd as they walked up to the podiums, I saw the Hitman. I saw Renegade with his arm over Edward, if I'm not mistaken, saying, "Man, just chill out.
Yeah.
Just relax. We got this. We can still win the series." On the clapback, here's Onyx PH with last game. The aforementioned Farsa was totally snubbed. Now here she comes alongside Arland.
Yeah, and the Joy once again picked up by Blackness, but now Joy up against the Farsa. This is gonna be a shaky situation here for Onyx, and they pick up the Eve. As expected, it's going to be the Artillery Mage matchup between these two. Onyx, they can go in the second phase again, pick a gold laner here, and then start banning out gold laners, or they can pick up their roamer pickup and or jungle, and then still ban out marksman because they're going to be in the fourth pick anyway. The first pick after the second phase of draft.
Again, I like this though, right? Yeah, the Joy is here. It's going to be in Edward's hands. And, you know, even if you look at the previous game, he was doing exactly what he had to do, right? And the question even previous game was, early game you weren't feeling the R-Lot too much, but then it popped off later on, and then you now rounded out with this first phase with a carry pick. And this is a good start, I would say, for both teams. Again, this is a little bit better, in my opinion, for Blacklist International with that Fredrin locked in and the Eve here. And like you mentioned, there's the gold lane focus for the bans for Onyx Philippines.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, are you going to ban out the Melissa or are you going to ban out the Beatrix? That's a familiar face in our
wait.
screens right now.
Look who it is.
Is that NXP and Onyx PH alumnus? Is that Hito's rival?
It's Mikophobia! And the burger up by Miko. It's good to see him.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a burger.
Is the signature burger.
Yeah.
He has a fry business. It's
Yeah.
not burgers.
Yeah.
All right, back into the draft here. There's the Brody ban as foreseen here in the draft. So you're gonna start taking out marksmen, but look, Hokadoot, they're still denying Hokadoot.
Yeah, respecting the heck out of that. Again, they still have the Joy with them. So, will Blacklist ban out the Ruby like they did in the previous draft? Are they gonna take out something else? There's still a Martis available for Onyx, even an Akai. Are they gonna take out one of those options to make it a little bit more manageable for them? Because Onyx doesn't have to worry about the Valentina. They can pick up the Akai. It is still a Ruby ban by Blacklist.
I think they take the Lolita.
Onyx on the swing back, possibly yes.
I
But-
think they might want to take it this time.
But then that opens so many questions for Blacklist. Is like, what does the Queen play? And then what does Owl play? All of the big marksmen are out.
Yeah, and it's good that they pick up the Lolita here, and good thing you brought that up because, well,
What's left?
Blacklist can still go for
Leslie?
healer type close. Leslie actually for Al might be good. Melissa's still available.
Oh, that's right.
Blacklist can go Matilda.
But there's a
that's
Farsa,
gonna-
bro!
What?
There's a Farsa. She's gonna get blasted.
No, yeah, that's why
The
you pick
Melissa.
up something like a Matilda for the roamer,
There you
pick
go.
up for Oh My Venus to sort of cancel that out if they want to, because at least you can just lock in the circling eagle on that Farsa to, if you can reach it, and then at the same time give a little bit of movement speed and shield for your Leslie. I'm leaning towards Melissa though here as the pick for Blacklist, because
But
right
also
now,
protect your Melissa. Yes.
yeah, they have a lineup that can actually be good for a Melissa so far, but no, it's not gonna be that.
Whoa!
It's the Florin for Oh My Venus, it's the Moskov for Al.
All right. So Owl's gonna channel his inner Super Red, and then this is the all-time second appearance of Florin in season 11.
I like it. I like that we get another
Me too.
Florin
glimpse.
game.
Yeah, at Florin, right? Because I was watching another region that played Florin. It didn't go so well.
Well,
So
they're no Oh My Venus.
They're no Oh My Venus,
Oh My
right?
Venus.
So that's what I'm saying. I can't wait to see this second glimpse in the hands of Oh My Venus, who debuted it last weekend, right?
Yeah. So now I'm thinking, well, since we be willing to pick up a Karina to help handle the monster a little bit better, but he is going to be up against a Fredrin, so since Martis and the Akai are the options. But no, it's a Grok. It's a Grok. Grok jungle. I don't know what Grok. Sorry, I
was gonna
forced
say.
that. Grok jungle. I'm
tried.
not saying Grok jungle again. Oh no,
tried.
I did it again.
So this is an Onyx PH special. This is a Sensui thing.
Yeah.
Like no doubt, only Sensui can consistently pull off a Grok jungle. I'm not saying he did.
Sorry,
It
lads.
works. It
That's
works.
on me. Sixth game for Sensui on the Grok today.
Right? And then the some modicum of success.
Yeah.
Right? So
You know, why not? Pick it up, make it work. You've got a lot of CC that you can layer around with here.
Yeah.
But again, I think one of the biggest things is how do you because specifically this hero, this Florin, has appeared again, how do you play around that? Because we, first glimpse, what we saw last week was, wow, that heal is, I was gonna say big damn, but it's actually big heal. It's big heal, right? So now it's like, okay.
But also damn.
But also damn.
Around the ones she's healing.
Exactly. So if you're Onyx Philippines, how do you prepare for that, right? How do you play against that especially?
I'm guessing they watched last week's game, right? they understood, like, oh, this is the effect of the Florin. Again, the hero seems to be built for Oh My Venus.
Yeah.
Let me enumerate the reasons why. All right, there's two main reasons I think. Number one is its kit is very similar to the Estes. It has heals. It has some level of CC. Number two is it's almost the best shot calling hero. She can be like an Angela, like, all right, I'm not in the battlefield. I'm paying attention to the mini map, but I'm affecting the waves, the tides of battle.
Yeah.
Right, because I can heal globally, and then I can give this little buff to who is it on right now?
Yeah. Didn't catch a glimpse who it's on, but yeah, I get the point, right? The impact there can be felt literally globally.
Globally and at all
it's there,
times.
yeah. And that's something that you have to work again. Any team that has to play against a Florin, obviously, that's something that they have to keep in mind. And now, even with that said, though, the tools that Onyx Philippines has, we could see them winning those early turtles once again, especially, Sensui, how confident he is in those retry battles. And this is against Wise, right? A very world-class jungler, king of the jungle, if you will. But now, focus on the bottom side, and Wise actually going to initiate it. They get the flicker out, Super Prince looking for his own angle, but actually not going to commit to it. So it's just there to keep things from going worse.
Yeah, so earlier we mentioned the key to victory for Blacklist, for Onyx is to watch out the XP lane ganks. We might not see that for the entirety of this matchup because if I'm Blacklist here, they will want to focus their ganks onto the gold lane that's the carry they're up against.
Well, right now, the 4 versus 4 here. RWM going to come down. Edward doing what he does best. Feathered airstrike as well. Still looking for an angle to get into this turtle for Onyx Philippines. Sensui going to go in, grabs it with a wild charge retribution combo. And yes, it's not even the Martiz, it's this Grok, and he's still able to do it.
Simple as that. You say what you will about it being telegraphed because you saw how he stood and he measured it. Can my wild charge hit? Yes, it can. Retribution.
Sensui. Sensui Senses. One of the best this season in retribution duos. One of the heart and souls of Onyx and their playstyle this season. But Orioto might get caught out here.
Yeah, let's see if he can actually survive this. 1 versus 1. There's the beats coming out from Edward. He has the backup now. 2 versus 1. Super Fritz coming in, raining down on Edward. Grabbing the kill here.
Habon Jingjing got squished.
Oh, Super Fritz flying in from out of nowhere.
From downtown.
From downtown, well, midtown, technically.
Correct.
Yeah. You win the mid, though.
Okay, UA's gonna avoid that. But yeah, I feel like Edward just thought that was a 1v1, but now in the mid lane, no! Super Friend's gonna get punished. Trapped in the RWM. There you go, Blacklist International now on the board here.
Vengeance Rage at 0 almost immediately.
You were very consistent this season for Blacklist International. Beautiful timing there of a real world manipulation. Not shy to drop down that Starfield, knowing that the members of Onyx will need to cross a little bit. It was a perfect positioning for him to drop it down. He went for it. He had backup. Great call there by Yue.
Now looking at the items here, still not clear who exactly has the bud.
Yeah.
Who did Venus give it to?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it.
I'm guessing it's on Wise. It's only either on Wise or on Owl.
Yeah, usually one of those two. Usually those are the targets for the Floridas to give the lanterns, if I'm not mistaken. Or the flower. It's one of those two.
And so far, it looks like Venus might want to double down. Again, we talked about how it should be Ryota that they should be pressuring, but no, it's like they understand. Nets is the real threat.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we highlighted those 2 players, Nets and Owl leading this matchup. Looks like Wise is just going to wait patiently with Edward here. It's actually just going to be a 2 versus 3 for this turtle. Looks like it's going to go to Sensui again. Wise taking a couple shots with the feathered airstrike. Should be fine, though. But bottom side across map play, not going to convert into anything. So Onyx Philippines again, 2 of the turtles in their favor.
That's a clear win for Onyx PH, I'd say. Because down bottom, they sent 3, no dice. Nothing happened to Onyx, to those 2 down bottom. And all this while, Sensui and the gang up top were doing work, got their second turtle, now about 1,000 ahead at 5 minutes. That's great.
And so far, it's just part 2 of game number 1. Both teams playing very similarly. And knowing that they're just gonna try to contest the turtles, give space for their marksmen, although right now Onyx is pressuring a lot more, is pressuring Owl a little bit more. It's a 500 gold lead here for Nets. That might seem close, but this early in the game, that actually means that Onyx has done way more right for their gold laner.
Yeah, even just at this point, right? Them still managing everything across the map so far. Now working on this bottom side.
Not fast.
Not going to be able to get the turret just yet, but still holding on to this lead that they have, doing really well with it. Again, how will it translate for them as they get past that next turtle? Because if they, let's just assume, okay, they do get the flicker out from Oh My Venus, so there's a win. As I was saying, if they get this next turtle, all that matters for Onyx Philippines is actually contesting those lords again. Again, you can get all 3 turtles, but it really does come down to those lord fights as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here if Onyx actually considers giving up the turtle so that they can push bottom lane instead. Maybe even potentially get 2 there. They have to make it, they have to play it smart though. They have to show enough bodies on the turtle to make Blacklist think, okay, we should commit 5 or 4, but Edward, too
that's
deep.
gonna be tough. He did use the vengeance here. Still gonna be working. It's 2 versus 1 top side. Edward can't escape that. Ryota grabs the kill. Punishing Edward.
That's significant. Agent Zero got zeroed, and now in the 3rd turtle, last one of the game, they don't have a joy.
Onyx, you can see how hard they prepared here. They're not going to be trading this turtle. They're instead contesting it, but Onyx got to push down bottom.
Yes, and Sui still might try to make a play unless they just give it up here. As they do, they don't want to take any risks. Wise, given the go sign, gonna get pushed out. Feathered airstrike from Super Prince. Now Onyx Philippines eye set on the mid lane, putting the pressure right there, looking to grab the turret. Tier 1 does fall. No answer just yet from Blacklist International. Couple CCs being overlaid on Kekadu. Why still going here? They get the flicker out, but that's all it's gonna be.
All right, in the grander scheme of things, Blacklist played that well. They understood that they had the range advantage. They had all of the checkboxes ticked off to just make a blitz for the turtle. But what did Onyx do in that situation? They gave it up. Yes, Insui tried with the Guardian's Barrier, but they took mid and bottom. Oh, Wise!
So it was the trade after all, although it was still a light contest. But Onyx pulled that off. We all know how important the mid lane turret is, especially for teams like Blacklist International. And Onyx, well, at this point, it doesn't look like a massive lead, but it feels like a massive lead.
It's
to me.
significant.
It's a significant lead.
It's a big 1K.
Yeah, it's a big 1K.
And as we were speaking here, Reptar, Wise just committed Grand Theft Orange. He took it right into Sui's face.
Good steal there. In this scenario, you will do what you can to get wins, and just like that, Sensui!
Okay, the wild charge can come through. My Venus gonna be in trouble. The heal is not enough that time. And now Wise here wants to punish. Sensui now gonna be caught. Falls to Owl. Kekadu next target. Owl unleashing. Spear after a spear. Can't get away. Yue grabs the kill.
That's deja vu. That seems like what Blacklist did earlier to Onyx, but the other way around.
Yeah.
It's Blacklist who punished Onyx for pushing in too deep.
Yeah, too deep indeed. I really thought that the moment they got that kill onto Oh My Venus, they would back off quickly.
Yes.
But it looked like there was a hesitation of, oh, do we fight? Oh, do we back off? Oh, do we help?
It's like we
Do
can.
try?
We should be.
We should be. Yeah, so that hesitation was costly for Onyx, and this feels like the first time this series that we saw them hesitate that way. And history has proven, and even in game number 1, it shows, if you hesitate against Blacklist, Blacklist will punish.
And with that, it looks like Blacklist is back on the map. Again, this lead by Onyx, what we considered a huge 1K, now shrank to 300 gold. It's at this point that maybe, yes, we can say this is close.
Yeah, so close here. They're going to be caught in the road manipulation. Kekadu not going to be able to find anything. Flickers out as well. Super Prince has to flicker too. Numeral Blast going to find Wise here. Not enough damage just yet. Nets waiting patiently. Trying to feel this one out. Still a lot here being committed by both teams. Owl lining up the spears for Sensui. They're going to be forced back here. Onyx Philippines, they got to reset. They got to gain this health back. It looks like Blacklist International might have their eyes set on actually committing to this Lord. Ryota, though, comes in with a final slash, followed up with a feathered airstrike. One falls for Black. Blacklist International. Owl on the run, too low. And now it's Onyx Philippines taking the Lord here. Wise gonna go in, and he gets it with the red tree, winning the battle that matters. And now he does fall. Immortality gonna be popped. Yue and Edward have to back off here, but the Lord is secured for Blacklist International.
All hail the king of the jungle! Right in front of the face of the, what? Arguably greatest Retribution duelist in Season 11? Wise just did that!
Wise. How many seasons has he been doing it now? Clutch for the king of the jungle. As we look at the items, very close in terms of the gold. Already the 3 core items for a carry is in the hands of Nets. On the Moskov, still on the way to potentially building a Wind of Nature. It looks like. Get a little bit more sustainability there.
Oh. Alright, so again, does this not feel like deja vu, fellas? Was this not what happened exactly in Game 1?
It's deja vu, you know? It's exactly kind of what happened previous game, and, you know, given that whole situation, the next one, yeah, you know, that's only the first Lord, so Onyx Philippines going to make quick work of it, kind of reestablish themselves, but still, they lose some of this map space, too, that they had the advantage of, and it's still, you know, Blacklist International finding more turrets to take down, and this is where they're known for really punishing teams, right? When these mistakes are made, they get punished, but Onyx Philippines might not want to be a part of that. Ryota quite low, but nice stop! Perfect target, Owl! Gonna be in trouble, the heal is there, but it's not gonna be enough as he falls. Now Net's the focus of Edward. They give it a call back here after losing Owl. Another nice play from Onyx Philippines.
El Juego de la Muerte. The Owl of Death. Well, my Spanish is a little spotty, but you know what I mean? Like, Onyx spent so much to take down Owl. I'm wondering if that's worth it, now that the Lord is about a minute away.
Well, in that scenario, Onyx could have gotten more. You pull the trigger in place like that, even though it was just Owl that they got, that is something. And in this scenario right now, you need that little bit of map spacing that you can get. Look at the top side, about to get pushed down here by Onyx, but Blacklist contesting. But this allows Onyx to place themselves prematurely in this Lord area around the mid to get a little bit more control in that place. So yeah, that was a great call there by Onyx, but just unfortunate for Owl. Right at the tip of the Numenon blast, it was a beautiful follow-up by Sensui and by the rest of Onyx.
Is it possible that Onyx still showing signs of hesitation? Again, the way I understood the situation is they could have gotten more. The fact that the Moskov got killed there means a huge chunk of Blacklist firepower was already absent. Maybe, just maybe, Onyx could have gotten more.
Yeah, Nets was relatively okay. Although, I think the condition there was since Nets ran into Edward as Onyx were trying to reposition, Edward got to bring him down to around 65% health, which for Onyx was just a little bit too much for their gold laner. They decided to play it safe instead.
Yeah, it's better that they do that, right? Because Nets, again, he's sitting really well here on this carry so far. He's going to be crucial as the game progresses. Edward, not going to be a part of this Lord Dance for now unless he joins this. So, Onyx Philippines still want to be able to contest this. They've got the numbers advantage. We'll see if they can pull it off. Yue going to get spotted out, pushed out a little bit here. Feathered Airstrike is going to be down, though. Lord takes a reset for now.
All right. Interesting use of the Guardian's Barrier there. I'm pretty sure Sensui was maybe hoping for it to go on the other side because the call to use the Feathered Airstrike was a clear go. Like, we have to space him out. This should be a speedy take. But again, que sera, Onyx needs to find another approach.
Yeah. In terms of positioning, no one at an advantage right now, although Ryota might be able to surprise Blacklist.
Oh, yeah.
This middle minion wave, though, okay. Blacklist has the information of where the members of Onyx are. Blacklist very compact right now. They have to watch out their positioning.
Yeah, Ryota gonna get caught out a little bit here. Does flicker out, so we can't use that to get the final slash off. The heal does come through as well. Again, a lot of ultimates committed here and battle spells. Lord sitting at about half health. Still being pushed off here. Wise waiting patiently. Does have the immortality as well.
Yeah, this is up to Sensui.
Still gonna be fighting for it. Owl waiting on the backside.
Ryota has final slash.
He has the final slash.
No.
He does not have the initiation tool with the flicker, but can still make a play. Does find Wise here. They're going to give it a go. Edward going down. Right, going to secured by Sensui, but Nets has fallen. Blacklist International going to focus on Sensui now. The rest of the team back off. They've got the Lord, but they lost their gold laner.
2 for none for the big prize. What's Onyx to do here?
They can't convert this. Look, Blacklist already stopped the Lord. The Lord said, hey, I'm marching down mid. Oh, you guys don't want me to? Look how fast the Lord goes down at the hands of Blacklist. No conversion.
Something tells me we might see a clap back just as quickly from game 1. Blacklist goes straight for it.
And they're going to use the feathered airstrike. They do find Ryota. Wise trying to cancel in the best he can. Has the CC potential, but for now, Onyx Philippines holding off with a successful defense here, despite even having that Lord marching in their favor.
All right, not so fast, Onyx says. Sensui has respawned nets as well. They're going to try to regain parts of the map. They're going to lose all of their outer turrets, and they're going to be left to their base. Onyx has come back from worse, but Blacklist is known to just take games, especially after they lost game 1. They know better now. Blacklist know better now.
Yeah, and surprisingly, despite the action-heavy last 3 to 5 minutes of this game, it is still very close in terms of the gold, in terms of the resources that both teams have. Although Blacklist has a lot more breathing room in the map now, and their Uber is in full effect. Onyx, if Blacklist aren't careful, can turn this around.
Okay, still, a lot of poking back and forth. Wise kind of just checking in on Onyx Philippines. Sensui, it's kind of like, do you want to fight me or not? And they're just keeping each other in check, but still, unless some amazing concealed play has popped off between either of these teams, it's going to come down to, again, that Lord dance.
A concealed play for Onyx with an amazing final slash, or Blacklist, again, just catching them in the right spot with the right box from the right angle from Yue. So far in the 16-minute game, again, there's 2 keys I'd like to point out. The fact that Wise has Fredrin now. It's so much better at checking bushes and, again, initiating compared to the Baksha, which only had one way in. As well, I'd like to think the Moskov on Owl is a little better. It's got the range advantage on the carry.
Yeah, it has the tools to give him...
Close.
A lot of tools used there. Sensui, you wouldn't want to walk in there. And at the same time, I like how Blacklist International are in sync with Wise. In the moments where Wise would go in even under tower or around 3 to 4 members of Onyx, just try to chain together the control abilities that Owl and Yue are always there to follow up. So they have to keep that up there. Blacklist, no hesitation right now. Onyx, hesitating a little bit more, but they also need to be very conservative with their use of the feathered airstrike now. It'd be a good thing that they have the Divine Glaive though in their hands, so Blacklist need to watch out for that.
And as we expected, right, a lot of these just checking going on between both sides, but ultimately comes down to this Lord dance. We see both junglers getting in position. And, one thing that I will say is Blacklist International, this is one of their advantages, right? Most people that have been watching them for a while know how well they handle these Lord dances. And that's where Onyx Philippines has to step up here. Sensui's been doing a great job at getting the Retribution battles in his favor, but it also comes down to the team decisions and their placements as well.
Yeah, speaking of Onyx, need to be careful how they place themselves, because if they're too close to a stack of Blacklist members receiving a heal from the ultimate of the Florid, that deals out slows and damage. So the healing of Florid isn't all just healing, it has a fair amount of damage and control as well being dished out to enemies.
It's also big damn, Joseph.
Yeah, it's
damn
also
big heal. But that's the thing too, you have to deal with that. There's the conceal. Looks like they're gonna focus on Owl. They find him. Oh, we missed it a little bit there, but exactly where they wanted to go. Owl falls here, losing a huge amount of firepower for Blacklist International. Onyx Philippines, they gotta give this one a go. They can't hesitate.
Yeah, they gotta push somewhere. They gotta convert that into something. I mean, the minion waves don't look good for them, but there's no Owl on the side of Blacklist.
They're looking to get the Lord, but Wise. Wise is a retry.
Yep. Wise is setting up
Ryota found him.
Moment. They're going to spot him out here. Still going to whittle it down. They're going to push him back. There's not really any space for Wise to work around with. Wow. They give a call. Great play there from Onyx Philippines. They secure the Lord.
I just want to say how brilliant Onyx pulled that off, because when they did the conceal, they did that right in the face of Oh My Venus. All they saw then was Oh My Venus. So you'd think, wait, why aren't they rushing Oh My Venus? They knew that the positioning of Oh My V probably meant that there's someone else in the shrub with the queen, and they hit the jackpot. It was Owl in that bush.
And the way that Blacklist adjusted their draft, yeah, say what you will about Wise having a Fredrin, but I still think that's not enough peel. And that's why Onyx is getting all of these free goals, finding the angles on their softies.
Oh, International. So they get the tier 2s down. Now eyes set on these inhibitor turrets. Real world manipulation gonna come down from UA. Trying to clear as much as he can. Still keeping this Lord here. That top wave though, still in favor of Blacklist International for now. Final Slash gonna come out and throws. Wise here with immortality. With a wild charge. Nets grabbing the kill. Feathered airstrike forcing them off that mid turret. Onyx Philippines. They could look to get these inhibitor turrets down. That top wave still pushing down to tier 2. Now this bottom inhibitor gonna fall.
Wow.
Onyx Philippines again. Taking another one. Edward gonna get a final slash. Still, they back off for now, focusing on the top side.
Blacklist are quarantined within their own base. Onyx are keeping them in there. They're 4K ahead, 20 minutes in. A single life is all the more important. Now the death timers are so significantly bigger. They're much longer.
Yeah. Blacklist International. Can they hold on here? Oh, Starfield already used.
Keep an eye on Ryota. There's the final slash. He canceled it as well. The follow-up, though. Look at the backside. Edward. He's going to be chasing down Nets. They're caught in a split of a team fight. Another falls. It's 3 down for Onyx Philippines. Edward doing work. And now Ryota's in trouble. 3 versus 1.
Whoa,
He's dashing. He's bobbing. He's weaving. He dodged that one, but ultimately falls. Immortality comes up. Wise grabs the kill. Edward buying so much time in that team fight, splitting up Onyx Philippines.
The banana itself got split. Edward, a key item pickup right before that happened was a divine glaive on that joy. Hence why the space Edward was providing also provided a lot of damage. 13 to 15 seconds before the other members of Onyx can come back. What can Blacklist do here?
Nets in 10. Oh, Hackathon needs to hold out.
They've got
Can he
time.
hold it?
Couple seconds away.
They back off.
Should be fine, but still, Blacklist International has now at least gotten that inhibitor turret down in mid, but they're down the bottom one. So Onyx Philippines still in this. They gotta get the space again, all in time for again another Lord Dance battle here. Onyx Philippines been doing great so far. Can they pull it off?
It isn't just a Lord Dance, it's a Lord Dance battle.
All right. For those who don't know, Blacklist International and Onyx PH from Season 8 were the progenitors of the Lord Dance. In the wake of the Banana Split and the Ube Strat, it was the Lord Dance that the whole world was watching and saying, how does the Philippines do that? Well, it's these two teams, folks. That is their legacy here in our beautiful esport. Much how it is Michael Jackson, you attribute the moonwalk to, it's Blackson and Onyx who did the Lord Dance.
Simona.
That's what Wise and Sensui are saying
Yes.
to each other.
That's them.
They're dancing
That's
right
what the
now.
junglers do, and right now, still looking for the space on Philippines. Are they gonna get spotted out here? Edward already using the ultimate up here. Still, Lord now with 1/3 of the health. Keep an eye also on Ryota. He is gonna be the man possibly to initiate once that final slash is available. They're trying to buy time. There it is now. Waiting in the bush. Oh, my Venus gonna get spotted out. Real world manipulation does come down. Nets unleashing. They're gonna get stunned though.
Oh,
now Lord's still being worked on. Onyx Philippines quite low. Kakadun is in trouble.
Oh.
Ryota goes in. Lord's gonna reset. They bought time. Now Edward still chasing.
Oh.
It's Edward versus Onyx Philippines, and he forces them back.
Shamona E to the D to the ward, warding off the members of Onyx. And just like that, in a beautiful Lord Dance, Blacklist says this is it. And it's looking like it's their time. Agent Zero. Mission accomplished there.
But can Blacklist get the victory with 30 plus on the comeback of Sensui and Ryota? How much time, how much space does Onyx have to stop a game number 3 from being forced?
They're still 20 seconds away from 2 more members coming up. They're going to buy as much time as possible. Feathered airstrike already used as well. Waves going down here. Top inhibitor going to fall. Lord making his way down mid. They might not even need it though. Kakadu going to fall out, unleashing. And in that moment, Blacklist International takes us to game number 3.
Almost single-handedly, off of the back of Edward's joy. It's black and white, it's clear as day. That is what bought Blacklist's ticket into Game 3 here. to be able to contest for that Lord and be able to break down Onyx Philippines base. We're going all the way.
Divine Glaive at the crucial moment of the defense for Blacklist International. Once Edward picked that up, the picture of this game changed. Because Onyx, again, we mentioned the whole Florin thing with her ultimate. They needed to watch their spacing, but then their spacing sometimes would lead to them getting split. Hence why Edward can just go in and dance around as the Joy. Wow.
Man, that is, you know, the question back in game one was like, you know, are we going to see Joy slip through the cracks more? It's kind of, that's kind of scary. The fact that how many times has Edward now gone, what, in 1 versus 3, sometimes 1 versus 4 situations with this Joy? And even if he struggled, again, early game he was what, 0-2, I think?
Yeah.
He was 0-2, and then still the impact that he can have. And how many times has Edward done this on other heroes in other series?
As Onyx here, what do? Do you ban out the Franco? Sorry, do you pick the Franco first pick so it doesn't get banned out? Because that's one of the best solutions. It's one of the only solutions to such a hero. That's why she was banned out throughout the first half of the season. So, I'd say liberally.
Yeah, I mean, please do. They were on red side then. They could have picked the Franco third, left Marksman open, taken them out, and then picked the carry later on. There was no Marksman yet for the side of Blacklist International then. Blacklist are respect banning the Franco.
Yeah.
That's them saying, we really don't want to go up against this hero for Kekadut. So why aren't Onyx picking it up early?
And they're also protecting the Joy.
Yeah.
They pick up the Joy right after the Fredrin, which in my head, or at least the way we understand the meta, is the right thing to do. Again, you need to give your jungler an amazing tool, and then you build around that. And boy, oh boy, did Blacklist build around it. Although, yes, there were shining moments for Onyx here. We could have sworn it was going to be a sweep, but not against Blacklist. Again, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not tonight, not today, not here.
Not here.
Not this rivalry. Again, there's so much more history than what's in Season 11.
You know what's crazy though, and how we were talking about the Lord dances, is Sensui's doing a great job. Hopefully he can get it together for Game 3.
Yep, get those moves in. Renmar's gonna break down exactly what happened in Game 2. I hope you're ready because there's a lot.
Let me talk to you. I just realized something about leaving the Joy on the hands of Edward and then pairing it up with the Florin. So we discussed the ultimate of the Florin, right? Wherein yes, it dish out heals, but once the heal gets dropped, around the allies healed by the Florin, it also deals a bit of damage and dishes out slows. So the idea that the Joy can literally just have its entire time alone and still at the same time knowing that you're gonna get healed, plus you're also going to be able to have slows dished out along with damage. No wonder the Florin and Joy combination just it seems perfectly fit for Blacklist International. One of the age-old ideas for Blacklist and their principles is it's this: leave Edward, let him do his thing. It's one of the reasons why Blacklist was successful for the longest time was because they have an XP laner who can literally make plays by himself. But think about it, yes, Edward can make plays for himself and then come up at the right time for the rest of his team. Pair that up now with a Florin that with the global presence being dished out, a little bit of damage, a little bit of slows, a whole lot of heal for that Joy. No wonder Edward had a fantastic time here. And again, key item pickup was that Divine Glaive. Once that extra ounce of magic damage along with the magic penetration that a Divine Glaive can give to a hero, that Joy was a problem, and Onyx didn't have that stopper because Sensui was the closest thing they had to peel, but then that would mean they'd have to use the wild charge of the Grok to just try and interrupt the Joy a little bit. Ryota, most of the time he was the one trying to disrupt the members of Blacklist International from joining in the fights against Onyx, interrupt them, be the annoying presence, similar to what Edward's doing to the backline of Onyx. That's what Ryota's doing. I think Kekadut, well, he's a little bit more preoccupied with, along with just trying to babysit Net somewhat, even though he does have that one little sure stun. That's not going to be enough because we all know once that Joy pops up the Vengeance and then she's still around dashing there, she can sustain through the damage of a carry. Because of lacking that single catch on this Joy, this MVP Joy for Agent Zero Edward, they had no answers for it. The Florin Joy pairing, I had that epiphany right there at the end of the game as we were just talking about it. What a combo to pair that up together. Try that out in your ranked games, and maybe you'll get an MVP performance like Agent Zero himself. Now, for the 5th to 15th minute of this game, you saw, of course, initially he'd start out a lot of the XP lane, you saw roam around there, but he really made his presence felt in all over the map for Blacklist International, similar to game number 1. At some point there was a lane switch pulled off, but he was just always there at the right time for Blacklist, and then disrupting the backline for Onyx. Now, that's a lot about Blacklist. We said everything already, how the Moskov also bears in that, getting the flower and the shared lantern power from the Florin. So even with just 2 items, the Moskov is quite effective already. Even though at that time Nets had more items, they're on to 3. Onyx, on the other hand, it was a little bit more difficult for them because, again, the difference between a Farts and an Eve is the Eve's Starfield cannot be cancelled. You can stop its casting for a bit, but it will never go down up until the charges are gone or UA gets rid of it. The Farts, on the other hand, you have a smaller window of opportunity. You really just have to make the most out of your 3 feather airstrikes, but then really watch out your positioning so that it wouldn't get cancelled. Blacklist International readjusted their approaches to the team fight around the presence of a feathered airstrike, around the presence of Super Friends. Because you could see that Blacklist International were looking at the key abilities of their peelers, their frontliners, on the Arlot, the Grok, and then the Lolita. With those down, and if they know Super Friends has his feathered airstrike, Blacklist International would not hesitate to push forward, knowing that most likely they'll be able to withstand at least a 1 hit from the feather airstrike, and which meant Super Friends will be able to back off. We also have to talk about the other members of Onyx Base, and Sui still on point with the retribution, but it was the lack of hard single target peeling in key moments by Onyx, and Blacklist understanding that and deciding to push in those times. Onyx's key control abilities were on cooldown. That's when Blacklist counter punishes were rolling off of. The timings and the acknowledgement that Onyx don't have some key abilities. They're split up, they're low, they push, they go. Game number 3. Man, what a show so far by Blacklist and Onyx. And yeah, everything we set up at the start still happening again. Game 2 felt a little bit spicier that time around, didn't it?
Joseph, you were looking for the Florin.
I was looking for the Florin, but I
Got
was
it.
also just mesmerized by Renmar.
What?
The open shirt.
It seems to be opening up.
I'm sorry.
It's
Wow.
opening up even
Sorry.
more.
I got really excited. I'm sorry, it's hot. It's hot.
The matchup too.
Yeah, the matchup too is hot in this.
The analyst segment was spicy, man.
Yeah,
It is. It was.
that wasn't on purpose.
And all this time I was studying off camera what exactly the Florin was doing, because this is a relatively low-key performance by Oh My Venus.
Yeah.
Right? And it's called Do. The little friend
Do.
is Do, and then he lends the lantern. So
Okay,
that's
so the
effect.
little guy is due.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Oh,
little
yeah.
thing floating
Is
near
due.
floor, and that's
Yes.
due.
And then that lends the lantern to heroes, and I hope there's a better way for us to see who exactly has it so we can analyze what's going on. But for now, let's throw over to Mara Aquino right before we go into game 3.
May mga nakita tayong special guests for today, Mycophobia and Ghost Wrecker. O, kamusta na kayong dalawa?
Okay lang. Okay lang.
Oh, sinong team ang binibisit natin ngayon?
Siyempre, Onyx.
Onyx. Oh, okay. How about you?
Blacklist.
Oy, paano yung tie na tayo ngayon? Oh, anong nagustuhan mo sa Onyx?
Siyempre, andyan na si Ryota, yung pinakamalas na XP sa buong mundo ngayon.
Wow, okay. Oh, anong meron sa Blacklist?
May tiga yo-yo.
May taga-yoyo.
Oo.
Ano ibig sabihin nun?
Tiga yo-yo.
Okay. So, 1-1 tayo ngayon. Paano yan? How are we gonna settle this? How about, okay, gusto ko malaman why you think Onyx is gonna win, and you're gonna tell me why you think Blacklist is gonna win.
Alright.
All right. May lower thirds pa tayo. This is called Settle This. Okay. All right. Who's gonna go first? Bato topic tayo. Isang bitawan lang. Okay. Ikaw yung panalo. Sino gusto mo mauna?
Siya.
Oh, ikaw daw. Okay. Let's see this. Oh, let's go back first. Settle this.
Ano ba yung tanong?
Kung bakit? I get in trouble with the tanong, ha? Okay. Bakit ba Onyx ang mananalo?
Kasi-
Anong meron ng Onyx? Wala Blacklist?
Malasa ang comeback potential ng Onyx.
Oh, okay.
Tsaka doon ako galing syempre.
Okay. 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 Ghost Wrecker.
Maingay si Rene J, tumisigaw. Sa likod. Ayun, oh.
Okay.
Oh, narinig mo?
Oh, ayun. Nag-break the code sa likod. Okay.
Ayun pa, oh.
Alright. Mikophobia, what you got?
Ayan, sure win na yung Oni kasi andun si Ryota eh. Siya yung magre-represent ng Pilipinas sa SEA Games.
Okay. Wow. Ryota lover dito, ah. Okay. Go striker.
Andiyan na si Rene J, sa sisigaw sa SEA Games.
Okay. 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 Gagawin po natin mas intense. Anong meron ang Onyx na wala ang blacklist?
Ang meron ng Onyx na wala sa blacklist, hindi ko alam.
Okay. Ay, nag-break. Siya tumawa.
Meron.
Okay. Ano?
Ha? Hindi. Ano ba?
Ikaw na.
Ano ba tanong?
Ano ang meron ng blacklist na wala yung Onyx?
May sumisigaw.
May sumisigaw. Anong ginagawa ng Onyx na hindi magawa ng blacklist?
Hindi ko rin alam.
Ikaw naman, ano meron yung blacklist wala Onyx?
May sumisigaw nga.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, now. Okay, for the final round, okay, bibigyan kita ng 30 seconds para tagulan. Okay, kailangan i-destroy mo
Sito?
yung kalaban. Oh, mamaya tanungin kita. Ikaw din, kailangan may 30 seconds ka mamaya. Alright, we're gonna go first with Mikophobia.
Yun, blacklist, ay, hindi. Onyx.
Onyx ka!
Eh, ano ka?
Onyx
Onyx ka.
Onyx.
Yan, Onyx na ang mananalo kasi dyan ako galing. Nag-scream kami kagabi, ako mag-isa, sila kalaban 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, keep going.
Ikaw na,
30 seconds ka nga eh. 15 pa, go.
sure win na to, time.
Time. Oh, okay. Okay, Ghost Wrecker. Payag ka ba doon? Go!
Kung ano yung nilabo ng mata ni Venus, ganun kalabo yung manalo kayo.
Anong grado kaya yan?
Ano mo yung pangalan ni Wise? Wise move, surrender na lang kayo. Tapos alam mo kung ano yung Rene J?
Ano?
Baka blacklist to.
Okay, I think kailangan na... Wait! Okay, mag-round na pa sana ako pero kailangan na nilang mag-umpisa. Okay,
Hey, good luck sa both team.
Good luck?
Oh, lahat naman sinusuportahan namin. No?
Tama.
Si Mara po, pinag-aaway po kami. Opo.
Oh, tama.
yan ata yung role ko ngayon. Pinag-aaway-aaway ko ata yung mga players pati guest eh. Alright.
At least may bago ka ng segment. Settle this.
Oh, settle
Alright,
this.
alright.
Baka next time gawin natin yan with the fans. Settle this. But for now, balikan na natin ang ating casters. Pasok.
Okay.
Most of what Wrecker was saying was true, though. They have Renegade. That is about 90% of my argument.
Yeah.
Most times.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd cheering after Ghost Wrecker would say a line about Renegade. 90% of that cheer was Leo going, yeah!
The mics were off, though, so you couldn't tell. I was screaming for... Regardless, all right? Back to the reset here. Also acknowledging the fact that Mikophobia, what he was saying was true, right? Ryota, definitely one of the greatest talents to look out for.
Yeah.
Automatically has a ticket to Cambodia. He's going to be competing at SEA Games. And he did come from there. Miko, for all of those who don't know, was also part of Nextly, was also part of Nextly, was and Onyx PH, season 9. So now, back into the action. Is it just me, or is this game 1 and 2 like seems to be deja vu back-to-back performances, but backwards?
Yeah, and when that happens, usually game 3 is completely out of the world.
Yeah.
It's like that weird last movie in the trilogy that just wraps up the story.
Yeah.
It's like all the loose ends just here.
Like it's either gonna be a one-sided stomp or an even longer game with way more kills, not as clean as the first two. It's one of those. It's gonna be one of those. It's rare that we've seen a series in MPL Philippines Season 11 where all 3 games had the same story with just a few minor tweaks.
Yeah.
And that was game 1 and number 2, and we were talking about it earlier. Well, the question was, going into game number 2, the question was, what did Blacklist need to do? They didn't need to overthink it, because game number 1, it was that close, it just boiled down to some key moments, and game number 2 was the exact same thing. So I'm gonna say the same thing to Onyx. Don't overthink it.
I love that you said that, because I think one of the biggest things that we saw in both games was when Onyx Philippines would hesitate.
Yep.
It's like even when they had
Yeah.
this amazing play. So, for example, they took out Owl. there's a hesitation there. That, okay, should we actually commit to this or not? Like that's what it seems like, right? So, I feel like when you have someone, especially like Sensui, who's so commanding in his role and he's able to hold his own toe to toe, and then you, like you guys mentioned too, even the rest of the members of Onyx Philippines, Ryota, for example, if he plays the R-Lot again, he has been making great plays on there. So why the hesitation from Onyx Philippines? That's what you don't want to see them do for this game 3, because, you know, when we're talking about points here, where every point matters, it would be great for Onyx Philippines to take this game 3 from Blacklist International.
And look, we've already begun making changes, all right? Whoever's directing the third movie in the sequel or in this trilogy is doing great. I like this direction. This is the joy taken out, finally. And then Blacklist is just taking continued cautions here. Just taking out the Claude. What's an opener for Onyx? Do they steal the Fredrin?
Oh, they can steal the Fredrin, they can take the Valentina, but with how Blacklist played confidently around Fredrin, I'd take Fredrin at this point instead.
Take Fredrin, you're most likely going to give up, what, Valentina?
Yeah. Valentina, R-Lot,
The Eve or the Farsa?
Yeah.
Farsa, yeah.
I think that's why, you know, we see them really trying to think, like, do we want to take this? Is that something we want to prioritize? Because honestly, if they don't take the Fredrin, again, Sensui has been doing a great job on, you know, either of the heroes that he's played up to this point in the series. But still, yeah, there it is. It's not going to be the Fredrin. They actually just go ahead and opt for that Valentina. It covers their bases to answer even these first 2 picks from Blacklist International.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like when first picking the Valentina is a bit of an overthink on the side of Onyx. It makes a lot of sense to me. There are still a good amount of ultimates available in the rest of the hero pickings tendencies of Blacklist International that would be great for Super Friends taking away. To take away. But I felt like Fredrin really would have been the much safer choice, because now you're giving Blacklist a very comfortable start already to their drafting. The Fredrin for Wise and an R-Lot for Edward.
And those are 2 solid steals. Like, Sensui is great on the Fredrin too. Again, you can win a lot of Retribution duels with that.
Yes.
And again, you're giving Agent Zero, you're giving Apunjing. You're a solid XP laner. He can do joy things with this. But again, it is Arlot things this time around. Now the answer, the Yu Zhong. So is this an early solution to a possible problem in the hands of Owl? And then you give, well, I like this. This one's a solid pickup, the Grok. It's a flex. It could go into the hands of Kekidot or into the hands of Sensui.
Yeah, but right now with how it's looking, Onyx might end up becoming short on magic damage again unless they pick a magic damage gold laner. If they have a Nathan, if they want to, Blacklist might end up picking up something like an Eve, so I wouldn't pick up a Harith if I'm Nets. A gold lane Lunox here has fallen out of favor, so no, you're up against a carry, so you're not going to pick up a gold lane Lunox. Onyx needs more magic damage if they want to make this work, or at least be safer with their approach here.
They got away with it game 1, but
Yeah.
how close was that?
Yeah, just barely.
You know, and if they want to get more magic damage, they could, but at the same time, we've seen Valentina's top the damage meters if they're played, you know, to the full potential here. But still, even with that said, there isn't that great of an option to steal just from these first 3 picks. Yeah, maybe the final slash, you take that. So still, it leaves to question, what is that pick for UA? You know, and that's why you see those bans coming out towards him.
Yeah.
Because most likely, if it's not banned out, he could just opt for the Farsa. And they might be happy with that, right? Onyx Philippines might be happy with just playing against that Farsa pick.
By banning the Eve, Onyx PH are clearly guiding what Blacklist is capable of doing. If they say, yes, you can have the Farsa, they're going to have an answer for that. Now, my question, is that worth it? It seems like they've alleviated the pressure off of Owl. They understand that whatever Owl picks, we can just play in game to solve that. By limiting UA's choices, is that a better direction for Onyx?
Taking away the Eve actually opens up the Harith available now for Onyx if they want to go down that route, because they're up against a carry here who we know has, alongside the Beatrix, has a very fast scaling time. Beatrix is not the fastest, but because carry deals true damage, it's like up there alongside the Melissa. And so since Blacklist took away the Franco, which again I still wish Onyx picked sooner, Maybe they could have gone Franco Yujong, but no, that's done. Onyx, they take away the floor, which is
Whoa.
a good call here.
Interesting.
So in terms of the roamers for Oh My Venus, again, if it's gonna be the Lolita, there's a lot to cancel it, and you're giving away a Numenon Blast. Just as I said it, they're still gonna pick it up. And this would help dish a little bit of slow if Everett is gonna be a magic damage gold laner for Onyx. But to be safe for Onyx, they might even consider the Brody or the Melissa, because the Yuzhong and Grok are enough to provide space. That just means Kekadut needs to rock up a roamer that has a lot of feel and control.
Unless it's the Grok there.
Unless it's the Grok there. Surprisingly enough, we haven't seen Atlas this game, and he's been wide open.
That's right, given that Diggy's banned out too.
Yeah.
One quick note, talking about heroes that are lacking, lineups that are lacking magic damage, Blacklist has yet to pick up their magic damage.
Yeah.
And they only have one now.
I think it's...
Whoa, whoa.
Okay, there's the Cho.
So who's in the jungle this time?
Huh. Yeah, it might be. It's still. I'm leaning towards a Rome Cho here.
Yeah,
And then,
Sensui jungle.
Yeah, Sensui jungle
Or
Grok.
Grok.
Grok jungle,
Because it's
yeah.
up against a Fredrin.
That's right.
Macho might be a little bit tougher there. Magic damage for Yue. I wonder, do they have Lilia as available for them? Because we've seen, Savior is still an option here.
That's right.
There's still a big question mark on the availability of the Faramis, actually. He's been wide open the series, but hasn't been picked yet.
I think they banned him.
Oh, yeah,
game
they banned him early. So Faramis is an option.
Oh,
No, it's still the Farsa.
I kind of expected it, right? It's
Even
like,
up against a Yuzhong, though?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean, considering the fact that there's the Valentina, and then, they're like, well, the safest, I feel like because of the mobility factor, like, let's just go the Farsa, because a lot of times you've seen Farsa survive just wings by wings alone. So that's probably a safe pick, and also the burst is there. So again, probably a kind of, let's just go the safe route.
For US sake, I'm hoping he's rocking a Purify.
Yeah.
If he goes for the flicker, then all the more Onyx is gonna say, you know what? In the draft, we already focused on Yue. Let's just go all in. This is the equivalent of, for those of y'all who watch Karate Kid, I'm talking about the original, is go for the leg.
Go for the leg. That's a classic.
Yep, that's right.
The original. That's the one with
Cobra
Jaden
Kai.
Smith, right?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Empat bintang berapa?
It's the one with
Sudah legend 5.
I know
your original.
Terus.
you Gen Zer.
Yeah. Sheesh.
But by going over to the MDL for a
Tidak
single
seimbang
day, Redmar shaved 10 years off his
musuh.
age.
True.
True. Only in
Jackie,
numbers, not in
Jackie
looks.
Chan, you're Mr. Miyagi?
He isn't? Who could
Let's get back into the matchup. Game 3. Watch closely the XP lane matchup between Ryota and Edward.
Oh, and also right off the bat, you see how Edward likes to play this R-Lot, right? And after seeing actually, I would say majority of the R-Lots we see in competitive play, run the tank emblem, I would say.
It's on bending will.
Yeah, and with Edward rolling this way, he likes to play a little more aggressive. Again, this just fits his playstyle really well, so we'll see how that kind of changes the course of this game. And like you mentioned too, UA's running that Purify, so he's got that available to him as well as now.
So this is great. Again, when you're looking at the way Onyx drafted and the way they're playing this early on, I bet they're happy to rock the Purify.
The pace here might actually be a little bit faster for Onyx, considering that it is Kekadut on the Joe this time. So it might actually still be very similar to game number 1 and 2, but expect a little bit more eagerness coming out. And I always forget that word. Surety. By Kekadut.
Conviction.
Conviction. There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A little bit more conviction by Kekadut to make plays surprising, because that's the power of the Joe here. If you don't hesitate, if it looks good that you can do the flicker, wave the dragon thing, do it.
Yep, and I think that's what was missing from Onyx throughout game 1 and 2. This whole series, essentially, that when they set their eyes on something, we haven't really seen them say, you know what, this is it, let's go.
Wow, doing it dirty.
That's a crucial stop there by Wise. That's going to be an advantage for Blacklist in this turtle here.
Yeah, so, you delay that by a couple seconds here. But, again, it's Sensui, right? And even if Ryota isn't there exactly right now, which you should make it up just in time, although he doesn't have the level 4, but hold on, mid lane!
Oh!
Oh, my Venus is now down.
Uh-oh.
There's the charge up. Last gonna come in. Who grabs the turtle? It's Sensui. And he wild charges out of there. Edward gonna be in trouble. One poke, one hit away. Can he get it? Kakadu and Super Prince. Edward's still alive. 4 down. Ryota with a double kill. You delayed him from going back, but he still comes out on top.
2K for Makasa in this whole time. Rema, can you believe this whole time? Get out and spend his flicker.
Oh man, how did he not have to use that in that engagement? It was Super Prince who used his flicker to get that Numenon blast capped off. And that's what Blacklist needs to watch out for here. Despite all that action, usually teams are used to saying no flicker on the Cho. There is still flicker on the Cho, and so they have to watch out. They might get kicked in the face from out of nowhere.
Oh man, now that you mention it, Blacklist has held back. I forgot.
Hookah dude.
Hookah, right? Now it's Kikadude!
Kikadude!
See? I didn't see it 2 games in a row. Now that it's happening, I'm blanking out. This is Kikadude!
You're flabbergasted at this point, right?
I'm perplexed.
Yeah.
Flummoxed.
Flummoxed. I'm
gonna put away this dictionary.
I was gonna say, you're getting to the word bank here.
There you go. All right. It's away. We're good.
But yeah, you're right. And there he goes. You know, the fact that also we haven't seen this early of a lead in the past 2 games, right? So this is already a different story, right? A different story from the previous 2. They're about a 1K. They had about 1.2 earlier. 3 minutes in. So still, on the Philippines, they're gonna make sure they don't drop this lead that they have here. Feathered Airstrike gonna come down, forcing UA back a little bit. Still, Super Prince able to help out Sensui. Nothing bad gonna happen out of that one.
Yeah, it's actually a good call by Super Prince to force that feathered airstrike so that Sensui could get away. Although that seemed like that really was the call for Blacklist. Put a bit of pressure on Sensui, see what we can force out. That was a win for Blacklist, but at the same time, Onyx needed to do that because they couldn't risk Sensui being way too low heading into the second turtle of the game.
And if there's anything that Onyx can hold on to is just how accurate they are, how well they're good at taking turtles, even those that they have no business going for.
Yeah, so you can even see Ryota coming down here, gonna join this fight. They don't have the carry for Blacklist International. The initiation goes through. They're gonna force him back here. Ryota gonna find Wise, trying to stop him from getting this retribution off if he can, and he does exactly that. So without the gold laners, they all duke it out. Onyx Philippines grabbing another turtle.
Much like Dumbledore from Harry Potter, you shall not pass!
That something doesn't seem right there, but this is a good call by Onyx.
That's
Yep. Got you.
I love
Touche.
back to the class, Star Wars.
Touche. Indiana Jones, #1.
Just name all the franchises we know at this point.
From the early 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim.
Now let's go back to the future here.
No! All right, back into the action.
It was actually a Malefic Roar rush by Nets on that Brody. So even though Blacklist International are building items for defense, they still have to respect the damage output of that Brody later on. But so far, Blacklist are doing a good job of being able to control the mid somewhat. Now they have the info that Super Prince has that Feathered Airstrike yet again. Seems like Onyx next sequence might be up top, force a skirmish or a fight right before that turtle. If not, they're just going to wait for the turtle and again try to best Blacklist in a Reggie battle.
Oh!
Who's in mid?
UA. Quite low. Sensui, though, gonna get that return, a poke. There's the kick, the way the dragon can come out. Numenon Blast gonna find the target. Right into the mid lane. Kekadu's gonna fall. Ryota! No! Perfect landing! Finds UA. So it's a 1-for-1, and still things in favor of Onyx Philippines.
Yeah, just slightly though. It's the roamer gone for Blacklist as their mid laner. Little bit of a stalemate, but yeah, leaning a little bit more towards Onyx's favor here with this next sequence. Oh My Venus hugging Owl right now. Good call here. Try to find space near the turtle with the gold laner.
That's a good seal play by Oh My Venus, but look at the clapback. Oh!
Doesn't commit the flick.
Oh! But Kakadu goes in. He can't find the way of the dragon, though. Now the counter punch from Black International. CameraFi gonna come through. They get the flicker out as well. All this leading into the third turtle.
Not just, Joseph, not just. They canceled the Numenon Blast, and now there's the kick and the Purify.
Oh, no. Ow! He goes down, but they're still going to be fighting for it. They call off the turtle. That's going to be in trouble now.
Whoa,
And he doesn't go down. Oh, my Venus is going to fall. Edward able to grab the kill. Now Wise joining the fight. side. Still going. Ryota gets a kill in the mid lane.
Oh!
It's a bloodbath for game 3.
Yeah,
Killing spree.
There's a killing spree there. The little regen coming in from the assassin emblem there of Nets was what helped him secure that double kill. And as we mentioned, the possibilities for this game number 3, we got the bloodbath version of game number 3. It's still clean, a little bit messy though, as our good friend Rockhard would say. Owl pulled off a boo-boo there. But let's see what Onyx can do here up against Blacklist as he gets it.
Sensui does it. Grabs the third turtle like that. So still,
Look at my V.
lead.
The
Might be
queen.
just gonna charge up here.
Whoa!
With a little G. He gets out.
A little G.
A little G.
A little GKD. All right, so interestingly enough, throughout that whole sequence up top and then a quick pan down bottom, this whole time, Ryota was running his own little side story mid. Oh!
The punishment! There's the way of the dragon.
Kick-a-doot!
The Kick-a-Dude strikes back.
I don't want trouble.
Kick a dude from a town called Kick a Dude.
Oh. And they're not stopping. Look, there's still a fight down bottom.
And this is what we were talking about earlier, the fact that Onyx has a Cho with them. It's gonna be this pace, a little bit faster, a little bit more, with a little bit more conviction and confidence to try and get plays. That's what you get when you have a Cho roam that doesn't have a lot to worry about in terms of what can stop it. The Kaja's off the board. Usually Kaja actually fares pretty well against a roam Cho, although that's a 50-50 matchup. Now looking at the item, still very close, although it's a 700 gold lead here for the gold laner of Onyx. Nets over Owl. Owl still has only built the corrosion side and the golden staff. No full build defense items except a few Athena shields and dominance ices across the board. No anti-caress yet, just dreadnought armors for both teams.
All right, we still haven't addressed the fact that for the past, 2 or 3 minutes, Ryota has been going on a one-man mission. He himself pushed mid lane alone. And I think Blacklist is addressing that.
Yeah. You can see, they were trying to basically use Aloe there as like bait, right? Bring Onyx Philippines down, but then they got spotted out from the conceal. And now the plans for Blacklist International is not gonna work out, right? So they're still playing around. I mean, Al, but look at this. He's getting focused on by Ryota bottom lane. He's gonna get chased down. Already used the Purify here. All right, that's tough. So again, you're hoping that Owl doesn't get caught off here.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're Blacklist International, because if he does, Onyx Philippines will just punish. And now the Lord is up. The dance has started.
Yeah, inversely, Nets has to watch himself as well because Edward's giving them a lot of pressure.
Look at that angle that the Arlet is in.
Yeah.
This is a scary position.
This covers Nets' entry. Onyx needs to be careful here.
This is going to be big if Edward can pull it off here. Still, it's going to be less than half health. The charge up comes in. Numenal Blast is committed.
Whoa!
From
okay.
Super Prince. Still holding on to
Oh!
it. Owl, though, making his way. Now Ryota comes through. There's the Numenal Blast. Sensui securing the Lord here. Onyx Philippines is on fire for these objectives.
6 and Sui, man. 6 and Sui. Could have sworn that Lord Dance was going to last a little longer. Wait for more, I'd say, safer windows, but Sensui just pulls the trigger there.
Sensui! Again! How does he keep doing it? Again and again! The Retribution dual master of MPL Philippines Season 11, and that's coming from a team that is, again, clawing and crawling their way into a playoff slot. Onyx with a lot of conviction right now, really want to make it into SMX.
Mr. Dude!
Kick-a-dude. Looking for it. Oh! Gonna find Edward! And it's way too much CC. Nets grabbing the kill. Sensui does fall, though. So Owl picking up a kill off of that.
Yeah, look at Wise holding the Lord down bottom, though. Can Onyx punish Wise here? Wise single-handedly taking down the Lord, though.
They still have that tier 2 turret. Ryota gonna use the Black
And the
Dragon
kick!
form. There's the kick. Do they have the damage, though? Nets trying to unleash. Can't get the stacks he's looking for. Torpart Memory committed as well. Nothing, though. No one goes down.
Turret in the bottom lane gonna go down, though. A lot of space provided by Onyx after that. Onyx still in the lead here. But Blacklist, it's not like they're grasping at straw, it's still quite close. But Onyx have been pulling the right calls and making the right plays to solidify their lead. 11 minutes and 53 seconds and counting into this game.
Sensui needs to take care of himself a little more. Yes, Earth and Force does a great job at stopping the physical damage, which Blacklist has a majority of. But yeah, no, the carry deals true damage, and Yue is slowly building up. He has a lightning truncheon now and might build up what? A holy crystal next?
Divine Glaive usually has been the trend as the third item.
Then all the better, spike it up. So yes,
Exactly.
for Blacklist. Now for Onyx, Sensui needs to take care of himself more. Like that's why that last engagement was looking scary. Like he was alone catching both pinwheels and blasts from
Yeah.
Yue.
If Onyx BH want to solidify their lead
Oh!
even further. Oh, so you just said it, Leo!
Like that.
Oh, you're gonna wild charge out of there. The follow-up though, Wise still on the hunt. Now Owl trying to provide the cover fire. There's the Kickadoo coming through. They're still gonna focus on
Oh!
Ryota though, gonna find the mark. But look at the damage from Owl. It's too much. Now Oh My Venus gonna be in trouble. One hit away.
amazing attack!
The final slash to save the queen. Oh My Venus still survives. And it's only one down for Onyx Philippines.
That was a game of inches. That last engagement, Blacklist got away with so much just by taking care of themselves. Just full-on situational awareness there.
Oh, my Venus got out of the basic attack range of the Brody, and I believe the torn apart memory as well. It's still available for Ned, so he didn't get to use it. That was a win by Blacklist, and yeah, I agree with you with there, Leo. We saw it happen right before our eyes. Sensui needs to be a little bit more conservative now because Blacklist are on a Sensui hunting party. So we know that this is the position of Blacklist because he's sandwiched. Oh, Ryota got the info.
Got the info.
He sees him.
So the rest of the team also, Blacklist International, also watch out for Kekadut as well. So everybody fights for positioning here. Oh, still gonna be forced off from it. So we holding that Lord. Why is just letting him do the work? You know, at this point, they just want to get this advantage if they can find it as they make their way.
Do they see Nets? Do they know he's here? And do they know that? All right, spotted Edward, so they know. This is vision. This is vision.
Oh, where is Nets? Where is Al? The big question for both teams right now.
Yeah, Super Friends also holding on to Numa and Blast. Feather Airstrike going to be committed. Lord can go ahead and get a reset going, taking the long way around.
Yeah, the scenic route.
Oh,
No, Sensui taking the spin wheels, has to regen. Now it's Kekadoo. That was there to help him out. He's gonna fall.
Onyx need to reset this.
They have to reset. Y's gonna force them back here. Owl was working on the Lord, now joins the team fight. Bottom side also, Yue gonna push them out. Owl unleashing on Sensui, a wild charge out. A flicker out as well. Ryota takes the brunt of damage. It's a mega kill for Owl.
And just like that, the Ube trumps the banana split. And that's a reluctant split. Onyx wasn't counting on them being spread out like that.
Again, reluctant. That felt like Onyx again trying to grasp a straws. Oh, what are we gonna do here? Where are we gonna position? They left Nets to the mercy of Yue and Edward. He could have joined there. They didn't have their roamer yet. They still committed, but Blacklist had key abilities. A lot of big questions, questionable decisions by Onyx there that Blacklist answered with a massive conversion. They get Lord, they got kills, they got tower, Blacklist got lead.
Just like that, the conviction that we were looking for from Onyx just vanished, and Blacklist put him right where they want him. They put him up against the corner and say, what are you gonna do now? Now that we have the Lord, now that we have all the lanes pushing in, and now that your gold laner can't even get basic attacks in, this is trouble for Onyx.
It's a tough situation to be in, especially when just minutes ago you were up by what, 4,000 gold, and even with that advantage that you had, you just lost that whole kind of the micro-macro fight. And now they got to deal with this Lord here, top side. They're most likely going to lose tier 1, tier 2, bottom side, tier 2 in the mid lane, and have to defend in their base.
Yeah, no magic penetration yet on this Valentine in terms of the items. Divine Glaive already in the hands of that Farsa. Blacklist has a lot of damage reduction items on them. Good amount of oracles, even though the Cursed Helm and anti-Cuirasis. So they can survive some onslaughts here, they just have to be careful.
Look at the angle by Kekadut. Oh,
Yeah, he's decided not to.
no dice.
Let's just handle the Lord, he says. They already lost the top inhibitor turret. They're going to lose these ones in the other lanes. They should be able to defend if Blacklist International decides to take that route and force a fight, but they might also just take the discipline route as they back off here for now.
And just like that, Onyx can breathe easy. Again, these waves are going to stop crashing at some point. We're about a minute and a half away from the next Lord, which should be evolved, and that might actually be the game changer.
Yeah, man.
Oh!
They can't deal with it.
I thought Kikadu was really trying to make a
Yeah.
play there. That feathered airstrike was already gone.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to.
Yeah. Again, the conviction, the confidence, the eagerness to try and pull off a play.
Oh.
I get why they're so disciplined, but it seems like as Blacklist has gotten the lead in this, Onyx have hesitated way more.
Wise using maximum range retribution, like right in the face of the members of Onyx. Like, yeah, nope, not even this orange, not this one. Oh,
That's a
okay. I wonder if they know that there's 3 members there. That's scary.
if you're Onyx right now, you are still blind.
Just assume that everything, every bush.
Yeah.
But he is everywhere.
Oh, good. You're up. Stun check.
Yeah, Kekadu's gonna get spotted. Looks like the conceal play came out as well. Oh, maybe just looking for the stun. Oh, gonna miss that flicker though. Numina Blast is charged up and canceled with that Guardian's Barrier. Ryota there to help him out, but Kekadu's in trouble. Onyx Philippines doesn't know if they should fight as they scramble back to the base. The final slash comes out. Net's in trouble. Trying to provide the damage here.
Ryota!
They're still holding on. He's trapped. Edward. Immortality gonna be popped here, but he goes back to fight. Can't withstand it. Oh, to Sensui. Another Immortality gonna be popped now. Oh my God, he's in trouble. Another barrier from Sensui. Says you shall not pass.
By Gandalf.
By Gandalf.
Lord of the Rings. Tolkien.
Director's
right.
cut.
Purple buff. Sensui.
All right. So now that things have gotten right, this is the correct timeline. If you're a Sonic, if you're a fan of Onyx, this is where you want to be. They traded Kekedot for Edward and Venus, and it looks like a more even fight. This Lord might actually, could possibly go over to Onyx. We know how sharp Sensui is when it comes to these duels.
Man.
Good control there by Onyx. That could have been devastating. Oh, look at Ryota.
Super Prince going in from the backside. They're gonna focus on Albert. He has so much damage. And Immortality still online. Owl somehow stays alive, but Onyx Philippines gonna go ahead and give this go for the Lord. They should be able to take it. Wise gonna jump in, gets hit. Sensui secures the Lord. Now Onyx Philippines has to survive. They're on the run. Wise gonna get the knock up here. The follow-up still coming through. The dude, is he in trouble?
Oh, Edward's still there.
He survives.
The dude gets away. The dude gets away.
Alexa, play The Great Escape by Boys.
It's the G-Kun dude.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Oh. All
And
right.
now we find ourselves at the potential apex of this matchup. Super Friends still coming back onto the map here for Onyx. Blacklist International doing everything they can to stop this Lord, and they will. Sensui gets a stun, but the Lord isn't going anywhere. No conversion here by Onyx. Blacklist stops the Lord in its tracks.
You know, that was a great stun. Found multiple members, but unfortunately, can't really convert anything out of that. But Onyx Philippines, again, they're still going to have these waves to help push in a little bit, right? The thing is, can they actually get into these inhibitors? They do grab that purple, though.
All right, so we're back on the map here. Again, despite the map looking completely blue, Onyx has a lot of work to do to be able to get back into this.
Oh, they can actually push a situation up here if they want to. But already the clear speed is going to be quite big. Kekadu, though, going to be in trouble. Gets final slash! Feathered airstrike finds him!
He got stunned!
The dude is down! Oh my Venus with the stun, and this is looking bad. Ryota goes in with Black Dragon form.
We gotta back off.
He knows it's nothing can be done as they head back.
Punished. Counter punished by Blacklist. Kekadu got stunned mid-combo, not once. Well, mid-combo once. Trying to escape another time. He got caught there by Blacklist.
At some point, you gotta think, Kekedot was playing with borrowed time. Like,
Yeah.
he's been escaping ults and engages left and right for the past, what,
Yeah.
5 minutes? And that's why Onyx was able to catch back up.
Blacklist wants to end this. Edward built rapid boots just so he could get here.
Yep,
Oh, what?
Edward. Gonna go ahead and flicker in. Was looking for the final slash. Too much to handle. Blacklist International, just like they did last time, will reverse sweep the series 2-1.
History repeats itself, not just in Season 11, but for the longest time that these two have had the rivalry. Blacklist comes out on top.
Give Blacklist a window and they will tear your house down.
The forbidden door opened and kicked down by the code breakers. As you said, Leo, history has indeed repeated itself.
There are new characters in this long, faded tale of the black, white, and yellow. And a little bit of red.
And a little bit of red.
Oh, and Onyx is seeing red, man. This is a tough loss for them, especially since they're fighting for playoffs life.
Yep. Well, they managed to grab 1 point out of this, but, you know, again, this is where every point counts here. And Blacklist International, this should now set them at about 20 points. They're sitting pretty well in the standings, but you got to give it up for Onyx Philippines. They've definitely found improvements. Just they need the biggest thing here, and we have been saying this throughout the series, is that hesitation factor.
Yeah.
And they can just fix that, they're in good position.
It's so evident, especially towards the later half of Game 3.
Yes.
At some point, you could have sworn there was a visible switch. I got flicked that, like, yeah, now we're not so sure.
Yeah. And you rarely saw that. We rarely made a call for blacklist hesitation. I mean, with the commands and the veterancy of my Venus and Wise and, of course, Edward there as well, they're a team that usually does not hesitate. And it was that difference factor between the two, where Onyx hesitated a little bit more, Blacklist did not, and so that's how Blacklist found turnarounds. The moment they saw that Kekadut was stunned under tower, they committed abilities to take him down because they know without the roamer, it's going to be a difficult escape for the members of Onyx PH. And yes, breaking news, with that result, Blacklist International has secured their playoff slot.
Yep, and now with that, maybe this allows room more for Blacklist to rewrite the code going into the playoffs. Despite that, I think they should stick to whatever's working here. Who knows? Maybe they might even clutch an upper bracket slot. That means 2 lives when they're trying to go for that Grand Slam. The dreams for Blacklist to finally bag an MSC title are still not dead. I know I'm looking forward a few steps on, but again, who doesn't want to see that? Who doesn't want to see a Grand Slam team in the MPL?
Either way, I gotta say this is, now that we have, 3 teams that have secured their spot in the playoffs.
World champions.
World champions, multiple types of champions. And now, you know, this makes things a lot more interesting as we get to those last couple of matches, the last weeks here. This is only day 1 of, week 7. Who knows what more is in store? And even what we saw from last week, right, where TNC had a huge upset. Well, they play later, right?
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen with that?
Yeah, if you're Onyx, you should be proud of yourself, although we know they would have wanted to get that win, even maximize those 3 points. They got a point out of this matchup. We are at that point in the regular season where every point you could get really matters. So for Onyx, it wasn't the result that they probably wanted, but at least they got points out of it. And at the same time, these 2 teams set the bar for this week. That was our opener for week 7, and it was a great one.
You know what? I'm not Onyx, but I'm proud of them. They've shown us exactly why in each role they are in the running to be one of the best that you remember from season 11. Again, the way Ryota played here, the way Kekadut has grown, man. Now he's earned himself another nickname, Kekadut. Definitely something to watch out for. But again, how those all gel. And when you put that up against some of the best teams in the world, here tonight against Blacks International, there's still a lot to work on. So they have very little time left, but at least they can hold out for the fact that it's not too late. It's not over just yet.
And this game 3 too was also another great showing from Owl. After seeing that, seeing him last week and now playing here in this matchup, and it's the same hero that he had one of the outstanding. I can't remember if he got MVP for that carry last week.
Carry.
He did, right?
He did.
He I don't know. He probably got it in this game because the guy was unleashed basically. And again, running that Purify, half the time he was still playing super. That's what I noticed about Owl. He was so confident in his capabilities and his mechanical prowess as a player that half the time he's playing aggressive and it's calculated aggression and then ends up working for him. So I don't know how long that's going to work for him until it's actually punished and teams notice that, but you'll see it from the highlights later on.
Yeah, it's frozen H2O in his veins, right? Ice in his veins is what we mean. Let's go ahead and throw over to Mara Aquino. She's on stage with Blacklist International for their winning interview.
Agents, your Blacklist International is secured to the playoffs. Yan ang pag-usapan natin. What's going through your mind, guys, right now? Playoffs secured na kayo. Does this mean, makakahinga na kayo ng mas better? Or what's happening? You think it's less pressure now?
Sakto lang.
Sakto lang. Let's talk about the playoffs total talaga. Like, you guys knew you were gonna make it to the playoffs kaagad-agad today.
Siguro?
Siguro. Ba't natin binigay dito yung mic? Bigay natin. Hello. Ito, yan. There you go. Okay? Ikaw naman, para may mic time ka naman. Okay, anong pinag-usapan ng ikaw yung insider namin, okay? Anong pinag-usapan ng team bago pumunta sa larong ito? Because ang nakasalalay ngayon, playoffs, and you guys have made it. So inside scoop, coming here, nasa booth ka, papunta dito, what happened?
Hindi ko po alam eh. Wala naman po pinag-usapan.
Wala, so is today just like a regular day?
Opo.
Okay, alright. Now, balikan natin si Edward naman. Kasi Edward, game number 2, sobrang wow yung ginawa mo. Talagang pinalikan mo lahat ng mga, you tried to get all the players in the Brew Retreat at dahil doon, nakakuha kayo ng opening to turn the game around. Tell us what happened there kasi parang nanggigil ka doon. And kaninong call yon?
Sorry, ganun po kasi yung yung diskarte ng XP kapag mangzone ng kalaban eh. So ayun, ginawa ko lang po yung trabaho ko, mangzone ng kalaban.
Alam mo, kinikilig lahat. Every time sumasagot ka, nakayuko, tapos yung hair mo gumaganon. Parang nagsusolidify sa mga ginagawa mo na Hall of Legends nominee ka. Marami naman nagme-message sa'yo na sinasabihan ka they're gonna vote for you because we see the social media and you have a lot of support.
Opo, may mga nagme-message po sa akin na nangingi ng picture sa akin para ipapost sa page nila na pang-nominee daw, ganun.
Binibigay mo naman. So yun ang
Sabi
key.
ko, kuha na lang sila sa page ko.
Ayun. Okay, let's invite everybody para naman bumoto sila sa'yo para sa Hall of Legends. Invite them to vote for you. Oh, so, whether it's okay.
Invite nyo ako, invite. Invite nyo ako guys sa Hall of Legends. Para kabilang na ako sa isang legend.
There you go. We have one opening para sa Season 11. So make sure your vote counts. Now, you have about 3 games left. Next is RSG. Nung first round, I believe na-sweep kayo ng RSG. Meron pa kayong NXP and I believe Bren. So, now that your playoff secured, are things gonna be a little bit different, especially the next round going up against RSG? Because we know how hungry they are. We know how strict Coach Panda is and how he tries to correct everything sa kanyang koponan. How about for you, Coach? Coach to coach.
Siguro mas gigil kami gumawi ngayon kasi na-sweep kami last time na nagkita kami.
And now you have 3 more remaining. What can we expect differently from Blacklist International?
Sa ngayon kasi siguro ganun pa rin. Hindi ko alam kung mailalabas na namin yung mga iba pang strat kasi nag-prepare din kami para sa playoffs.
Okay, but what's really important now? Agents, they've secured the playoff spot. Congratulations. Job well done, Blacklist. You may now take your bow and go ahead, take your walk. You heard it, guys. Mas gagalingan pa nila at etong si Edward iniimbita lahat na pumunta kayo sa ating website to vote for Hall of Legends. Any of your choice. We got one opening for another legend inductee. And now hihimayin natin ang laban ng Blacklist International and Onyx Philippines casters. Pass up.
The young man is a 3-time MPL champion, a world champion, and a multi-time Grand Finals MVP. He has a strong case.
Yeah, man of many names.
Safe to say, yes.
A lot of names, a lot of trophies, a whole legacy.
I completely get it. I'm sure everyone in the world understands why he is a favored nominee right now for Hall of Legends in Season 11.
Just this close to being called Legend Zero. Now, with that being said, in just a bit, we are going to cover and talk about what happened exactly in Game 3 to give a better picture of what exactly happened in the series as a whole. And for that, we're going to go over talk with Renmar Santa Cruz. Man, I hope you're ready because Game 3 was quite a doozy.
It really was. Okay, similar story to game 1 and 2, but with a little bit more spicy moments. Of course, again, we mentioned earlier, that's what you get when you have a Cho in one of the teams that's playing in a game. A little bit more fast-paced, conviction, confidence to call a play is a little bit lacking in Onyx PH at times. What we have to talk about here, though, to put a little bit more focus on that we couldn't talk about a lot during the game, is a difference in marksman pickups. Brody was a great choice for Onyx, although I am partially leaning towards the thought of that lineup could have been great for a Melissa because of the space being provided already by their Yuzhong, their Grok, and the Cho. I understand why probably they picked up the Brody was a little bit safer. They're up against a Farsa. They also would want a little bit more of the ability to move while basic attacking, considering that Nets would have to watch out for the Feathered Airstrike and for the Numenon Blast of the Lolita. Plus, they are up against the Lolita, so if ever they're not careful, the Lolita could have blocked the damage coming in from the Melissa. On the side of Blacklist International, though, you have a carry with, again, Purify, not Flicker or anything like that, because Al knows he just needs to get rid and time the use of this Purify, either with the Petrify or the knockup of the Yuzhong. You can interrupt that. You'll have a small window that you're also going to be immune to a little bit more control abilities. The combo of one Yuzhong with those gone, or maybe with whatever control ability Onyx would want to dish out. Blacklist changes their formation. They collapse onto Owl to make sure that he's well protected because Owl, on this MVP performing carry, will maximize his Phantom Step dash and just free hit like a madman. Of course, it helps to have the Quantum Charge emblem on him to make sure that he gets a little bit more movement speed when he wants to sidestep. It was a game where we got to see eventually the weight of the difference of marksman picks. The difference of the fact that the true damage being dealt out by carry. Fast basic attacks versus slow basic attacks that deal a lot of damage. Today it was fast basic attacks that won it out, along with the other factors that we mentioned. In the interview that we've had, the little segment that Mara had settled this with Ghost Record and Mikophobia, our two guests for today. Well, Mikophobia was talking about Ryota and how he would be the X factor here in this matchup for Onyx, and he really was. Ryota had a fantastic game on this Yuzhong, doing everything right. Hard to find the wrong initiation for him. Most of the time, it was Ryota making the right play at the right time, such as this early on. And the Yuzhong was one of the biggest factors that Blacklist International was watching out for because, again, they had a Farsa onto him. Yue has made a name for himself as being someone who positions incredibly well as a Farsa. Got punished on here, but it wasn't that difficult a game for Yue as Farsa as I thought, or a lot of us thought it would be. Great positioning, great timing with the use of the Purify, and then not being shy to use the Wings by Wings to actually get into position instead of just as an escape tool. That was a good call. Inversely, for Onyx this time, Sensui again on point. In this series, in this game specifically, Super Friends also had his highlights. It was Kekadut and Nets who struggled somewhat. Nets, although at some point he was sitting at 4-1 and 0, it at the same time as I was sitting at around 4-1 and 0 actually. As Blacklist adjusted their approach into team fighting, we got to see the carry pop off even more and the Brody struggle. Understandably, Nets really just slowed down his entry in team fights. He really bided his time, but him waiting too long meant that Blacklist had a bigger window of being able to deal damage freely without having to worry about the marksman of Onyx. And of course, the clinching play that ended it all, Kekadu getting stunned mid-combo under tower. Blacklist punishing. Classic Blacklist. Onyx, a lot of good things to watch out for here though, of course. They got points, but Blacklist on point, playoffs mode.
I'm a believer in Owl. This young man has earned his spot in the main 5 of Blacks International, and I'm excited to see more of him. Joseph.
So I was gonna say the same thing. Ditto. You know, and at the same time, we got to see just exactly how that new lineup, or that plug-and-play lineup of Blacklist International can work for them over the past couple weeks, and I can't wait to see more, and hopefully Onyx Philippines can also adjust before time runs out.
Yep, and with that, we would like to give everybody a reminder that the deadline for sim registration is coming up. Again, that's the end of the month in April, April 26th. If you do not do that, well, your sim's gonna get deactivated, alright? Just like your MLBB profile, everything that you worked on this sim, your number included, alright? Even some of your social media might not be accessible anymore, so please, heed our warning. Please register your sim before it gets deactivated. Go ahead and visit smart.com.ph/simreg. Coming up next, will Biyaheng Tagumpay continue chugging on through alongside Echo Express, because TNT will be facing off against our M4 World Champions later on. On behalf of Renmar and Naisu, my name is Leo at your service. We'll be right back.
The 11th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 11. Our official sponsor, Infinix. Infinix Note, ultra-fast gameplay. Our partners to esports, Maya, it's everything, and a bank. And Secret Lab, the official gaming chair of MPL Philippines. Experience the MPL Philippines Season 11 action live at Shooting Gallery Studios. Tickets are now available via tickettome.net. Get yours now. If you missed the matches and want to quickly recap what happened, visit our official website for post-match reports at ph-mpl.com/news. Don't forget to catch all of our official league content on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. To ensure the quality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusement Board.
Tapos sana makabawi kami sa Blacklist. Siguro po yung tatlo, si Omay Venus, si Yawi, tapos si Ogle. Hindi pa po ako nananalo sa kanila. Hi, ako si Miko, ang roamer ng Smart Omega. At ngayon, i-breakdown natin ang nagawa kong play in Game 1 laban sa RS.
ng Smart Omega sa top lane sila dadaan.
May flicker si Miko. Importante makita kung saan nga ba magmumula ang setup. Pero si Natsay nasusunog na agad.
Pero may umikot.
Better is a Glycine doon sa likod.
Si Kelra pala talaga yung target nila. Mukhang mamapato pa pero hindi. Kelra! Oh! Alive! Umikot na yung RC Slate pero hindi pa rin sila nagtagumpay. At pero sa Megan 1, Eman na lang ang tatayo pero wala siyang magagawa dahil ang Game 1 ay mapupunta sa Barangay Omega. Yung sa play na yun, alam namin na nasa likod yung sila, gagawa sila ng play. Tapos, ang dapat gagawin namin doon is ikita ko ng kalaban sa may inhibitor nila. Tapos, tapusin namin. Sa play na yun, biglang nagsalita si Kelra na nandito yung prank. Biglang nag-change yung first kill ko. Tapos tinarget ko sa tinamaan ng first kill ko. Yung tinamaan ko ng first kill yung prank ko. Tapos, kasama yung Valentina. Tapos, naultihan ko sila dalawa. Sabi ko kay Kelra, buhay ka dito, buhay ka. Tapos na yun, naipanalo pa namin yung flash kahit almost 1 HP. Pagkatapos ng play na yun, makikita nyo din sa video na papunta pa lang kami sa may last na tower ng kalaban. Pinapa-relax sila, pinapakalpa ko kasi ayaw namin maulit yung nangyari sa Onyx na sobrang hype namin ma-one way kami, madipot pa ng kalaban. Siguro yung pinaka-challenge nun, what if swap lang yung first kill flicker ko tapos pamatay si Kelman. Tapos baka dun sakaling makagawa ng comeback potential yung Ars. Siguro yung game 1 po sobrang aggressive na. Ayun po yung namin. Kasi lalo na naka-pranko lang po si Light. Aggressive po. Kaya mo siyang i-vision ng hindi ka mababawasan kasi 10 seconds lang naman yun. Dali siyang palisin sa push. Lalo na sa early game, walang gaanong kakonect yung Franco, walang burst na parang sa drop, lalo na yun sa game 3. Expect namin na tinalo kami ng game 2 ng Lance. So si Coach Eto Max, gumawa na siya ng play na pag inopen yung Lance, ipipick na kalaban, tapos kukuha na agad kami ng lalamang sa kanila. Sa Arlot Lance kasi, ano yan, diba, yung sa bawat may sumisisi, may nagkakaparang second skill si Arlot. So sa turtle fight, malakas kami masyado. Kasi yung Fred Reed, puro siya CC. Tapos yung Arlot, second skill lang siya ng second skill. Tapos may pang lockdown kami sa Lance, which is yung handjab. So hindi gaano makakontes yung H. Siguro po kasi sobrang lalo na na-buff siya. Parang may buff siya na yung first skill niya po hindi naririnig sa push yun. Ngayon po yung kailangan po muna hanapin ng kalaban yung kasi kapag di nila nahanap, hindi mo na naririnig, malayo pa yung vision. Malayo pa yung range ng first kapag di congrats sa amin ng teammates ko. Tapos sana magtuloy-tuloy na. Tapos sana makatawi kami sa Blacks. Siguro po yung tatlo, si Omay Venus, si Yawi, tapos si Owen. Hindi pa po nananalo sa kanila. Ang masasabi ko lang sa mga teammates ko, salamat sa suporta, salamat sa pag-boost ng confidence ko nung down na down ako. Yung message ko po sa fans, salamat kasi lagi niyo po pinapalakas yung love ko. Tapos patalo manalo, lagi po kayo nakasupport sa amin. Tapos sa mga coaches po na walang sawang sumuporta sa amin, sa manager po namin, sa lahat po, sa mga boss po namin, yan. Salamat po dahil nagtitiwala po sa amin.
Hi guys, this is Sona at ito ang ating top 5 plays for Week 6 ng MPL Philippines Season 11. We are going back to Hawk City because on our 5th spot is Bentings Franco Pick na tumalo sa Brand Esports ng Bay number 3. 16 minutes into the game, 10,000 ang lamang ng Brand Esports in terms of goal. At mukhang makukuha na naman nila ang series na ito. Maganda ang ginagawang depensa ng Phoenix Army at naghahanap na lang talaga sila ng opening to turn this game around. While makita ni Benteng si Pandora na umaaligid sa may purple buff, agad siyang magpapakawala ng iron mode sa may flicker pa atras. Tapos mula niyon, papapwersa ang Brand Esports na makipaglaban. From that initiation alone, nakapag-snowball ang TNC hanggang sa mabaliktad nila ang laro to upset the Week 6 top seed Brand Esports and snap their 9-match winning streak.
Hoy, tawag! Bentings! Pero kaso alas si Pew! Doon na sa may bandang likuran! So wala rin yung follow-up, pero immortality pa! Bentings is down! Pew ang mapapatumba at siya yung magiging trade. Pero penalty zone, huli ng dalawa. Super Marco with a flicker. May minion sa may bandang itaas, pero dalawa. Kaya na mahuhuli nila, Super Marco. Sobrang low at mapuputukan pa. Escalera, nagwawala na. At si Caldizi na lang dito ang magsasalba, pero mukhang hindi. Dahil apat pa ang natitira. TNC, matatapos na ba? At mukhang ito na nga ang katapusan ng win streak. Phoenix Army, naglalagablab na!
On our 4th spot is Super Marco with his Beatrix ng Day 1 kontra sa NXP. Almost 15 minutes in the game, lalabas ang ikalawang lord ng laro at nagpapanak ang NXP na i-contest ito despite Brand Esports having over 10k gold lead. Sisilip si Boy DR sa Tribush pero tatapatan siya ni Super Marco, Ogwen at Flap DC, forcing him to commit his heavy spin. Super Marco will then flicker out. Raratrating niya si Boyan gamit ang biro at tatakbo palayo si Boyan para tumakas. Pero Super Marco will continue to pursue. Ilalabas niya ang trainer and with the exact precision ay buburahin niya si Boyan DR sa mapa.
Super Marco!
Sina Kyle DC at Few naman ang bida for our top 3 play nung laban nila sa Day 3 versus TNC. 12 minutes in the game, makikita ng Phoenix Army si Few sa bottom lane na nag-clear ng minion wave kaya nagbalak silang bigyan nito. Popping off conceal, bumwesto sila King Kong, Bentings at Innocent sa bush, waiting for the right timing. Pero ang di nila alam. Eh, nagtatago rin sa kabilang bush si Kyle Dizzy. Kakagatin ng TNC ang pain view. Pero pagsasapak-sapakin sila ni Kyle Dizzy para mabaligtad ang kanilang ambush.
Mukhang naging bait lang si Pew at saka makakuha ng kill. Innocent is down. Gawin na rin natin to kay Bentings.
Tampok sa ating second spot si Kelra and Miko noong day 1 laban sa RSG Philippines. 40 minutes into the game with a whole map under Omega's control. Balak na nilang ubusin ang mga natitirang inhibitor turrets ng RSG. While nakatago sa purple bomb pit si Light and Exort preparing to flank. Popping off conceal, tatargetin nila si Kelra. Pero Miko will be there to save the day. Gamit ang Tyrant's Revenge, sabay flicker at ultimate, maliligtas niya si Kelra sa pagkakakagat at tatapusin na nila ang first game of the series laban sa Raiders.
Depensa, make that one. Eman na lang ang tatayo pero wala siyang magagawa dahil ang game 1 ay mapupunta sa Barangay Omega.
Deja vu. Back on the top spot is Benny Cutie with another backdoor play noong day 2 laban sa Onyx Philippines. 40 minutes into the game, magkaganap ang Lord Dance para sa Luminous Lord. Sinasayawan lang ni Sensui at Carl Dizzy ang Lord habang nag-aantayan ang dalawang kupunan sa kanilang timing. Mapapagala si Kekidun sa push sa taas ng Lord Pit at kakagatin siya dito ni Yawi ng Bloody Hunt. Bibitawan naman ni Carl ang Lord to follow up at magkakaroon ng teamfight sa pagitan ng dalawang kupunan. Pero hindi makikisali si Benny sa labanan. May makikita siyang lumpo ng minion sa bottom lane at agad siyang tatakbo to seize the opportunity. Patuloy na papalagan ng Orcas ang Hedgehogs para pigilan silang umuwi to give Benny all the time he needs to end the match in a classic Echo fashion.
Napalo up at si Benny will come this time around. Merong pagkakang kay Lord ay nakuha ng Echo at si Benny Cutie. Oh my G! Another backdoor play! Wow! Bawal pumikit kapag Echo ang kalaban nyo sa Lord!
At yan ang ating top 5 plays for week number 6 ng NPL Philippines Season 11. Paalala lang may dalawang teams tayo na secure na for the playoffs at palapit na ng palapit ang end ng regular season. Let us know in the comment section yung most awaited matches ninyo in the remaining 2 weeks at magkita-kita ulit tayo this Friday para sa week 7 ng ating regular season. Paalam!
Hi, ako nga pala si Sanford Pinuya na mas kilala sa pangalang Sanford. Ako nga pala ang ex-planer ng Echo. Nakapasok ako sa MPL noong Season 8 sa team na Next Play Boss bilang 6-man na ex-planer. Hindi naging maganda yung run ko sa org na to at nawala ako sa pro scene noong Season 9. Hanggang sa nabalitaan ko kay Yawi na aking former teammate na nasa Echo na ngayon na may open tryout sa team nila. At sa kabutihang palad, tanggap ako sa team na Echo. Dumaan yung Season 10, pero hindi namin ako yung pagpinato. Pero isa kami sa naging representative sa M4 World Championship. Hindi namin nasaan na sobrang dominating namin sa M4 hanggang sa upper bracket. Pero natalo kami sa upper bracket finals at nakalaban namin sa ibaba yung RQ at nanalo. Nakapasok kami ng grand finals at nakalaban namin yung Blacklist International na defending champion. At ngayon kami na yung world champion. Siguro yung favorite pro player ko is si Cartini. Kasi ito na sa mga greatest player of all time. Ang favorite food ko is spaghetti kasi lagi akong present sa mga birthday. Kapag wala akong ginagawa or pag nasa bahay ako, ginagawa ko is maglalaro ng billiards or manood ng anime. Una ko nakita yung Mobile Legends sa social media at tinry ko itong larong to kasi mahilig ako sa online games. Hanggang sa nagustuhan ko itong larong to at naipaglaro ko sa mga kaibigan ko at sa mga pinsan ko. Hanggang sa sumali kami sa isang tour na sa barangay namin Nanalo kami pero second place lang yung naabot namin. Pero nagpatuloy pa rin ako sa pag-grind hanggang sa marami akong top page na heroes tulad ng Alice at mga iba pang fighters. Hanggang sa nakakalaro ko lagi si Yawi at tinanong ako if interesado ako sa Team 962. Tinanggap ko yung offer ni Yawi dahil gusto ko rin makapasok sa team na to at maging pro player. Bago ako naging pro player, isa sa mga naging struggles ko is internet. Dahil naka-data lang ako sa panahon na yun. At yung cellphone na ginagamit ko is low FPS at hindi pa sa akin. Kaya wala rin akong oras na makapaglaro masyado doon. At the same time, nag-aaral ako doon. Ngayong pro player na ako, pinakamahirap na nangyari sa career ko. Habang naipag-compete ako, pumanaw yung tito at lolo ko habang nasa ipag namin. Bago kami pumunta sa Indonesia para may pag-compete sa M4, nag-stop yung papa ko at ginusto ko mang hindi pumunta pero sinabi sa akin magulang ko pumunta ako para sa pangarap ko. Ngayon para sa akin, ginawa ko sa motivation at doon nakuha namin yung M4. Salamat sa pamilya ko na sinuportahan ako sa career na pinili ko and sa mga fans ko na sumuporta sa akin mula umpisa hanggang ngayon. And gusto ko rin magpasalamat sa teammates ko, sa coaches, and sa management sa pagtitiwala sa akin na wala sa edad ang paglalaro ng Mobile Legends.
Lahat ng manlalaro, lahat ng teams ngayon ay gustong isemento ang kanilang mga sarili sa kasaysayan ng Mobile Legends sa Pilipinas at talagang uhaw na uhaw para matawag na pinakamalakas sa buong mundo.
Sa baluarte ng pinakamalalakas, panigurado, walang ibang daan kundi pataas. Sa gitna ng dismaya, pagdududa, bumabangon ng tunay na malakas. Itinatakda ang may sikmurang magpatuloy, pero basang-basa ka na nila. Dahil alamat, kalat ang kawalang katiyak. Ito na ang katawan. Diyos, usbong ang bagong dugo para ibagsak ang nagmamataas. Kaya mo bang sumabay dahil walang naglalakad ng paatras at walang ibang daan kundi pataas?
Papaalala ko ulit sa inyo kung bakit brand lang malakas.
Hindi tatalab sa akin mga bala nyo.
Ang pagbangon namin ay ang simula ng pagbagsak mo.
Takbo habang may lupa.
Walang dakil-dakila dito sa MPL. Ngayon yung makikita ang tunay na lakas ko.
Hindi nyo alam kung anong klaseng bangungot ang kaharap nyo.
Naglalaban lang kayo para sa second place. Kumatras na kayo hanggat may pagkakataon pa. Pinaglumaan na kayo. Oras na namin to.
Pupulbusin namin ang bawat isa sa inyo.
Handa ka na ba?
Did you know that you can switch networks but still keep your number? Now you can go with the Philippines' fastest and best mobile network. All it takes are 3 easy steps. First, secure your unique subscriber code from your current provider. Visit our website or any smart store near you. Lastly, activate your smart MNP SIM and you're ready to go. Unleash the power of the Philippines' best mobile network. Switch to the power of smart. When you're in moments that matter most,
At last, we time. Live them fully with Smart Power All 99.
for 99 pesos, get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To play,
To laugh,
to love,
plus unleash TikTok.
and only text. Live in the moments that matter most.
Today, with Smart Power All 99. Sa 8 gigabytes, ang dami mong masashare.
Daming kontenta. Ganyan pagsikat.
TNT Double Giga Stories Plus. 8 gig, 50 pesos lang. Load na!
Day in, pay out. Choose the bank that gives you interest every day with Maya.
Ano Jadi pertama tuh kayak satu orang yang pegang terus rekomendasi ini. Jadi mereka mau puluhan juta dia tuh takut. Kadang jati sama lo. Tidak ada berkas yang nyeleweng begitu. Jadi rata-rata mereka bilang mereka tidak takut untuk transfer. Mereka tidak takut untuk transfer. Yang kalau Mama Nona dengar orang telepon belum ada yang saya lihat orang bersemuka tuh. Kakak simpan gagal tuh jadi belum tahu. Kalau gagal kalau gagal saya kasih tahu kendalanya apa. Kalau mau lanjut kalau tidak kasih kembali uang. Nah itu kita belum percaya. Masa tidak ada yang pernah bilang pas kembali uang membatin berarti. Baru kalau saya bilang 4 hari.
The 11th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 11. Our official sponsor, Infinix. Infinix Note, ultra-fast gameplay. Our partners in esports, Maya, it's everything, and a bank. And Secret Lab, the official gaming chair of MPL Philippines. Experience the MPL Philippines Season 11 action live at Shooting Gallery Studios. Tickets are now available via tickettome.net. Get yours now. If you missed the matches and want to quickly recap what happened, visit our official website for post-match reports at ph-mpl.com/news. Don't forget to catch all of our official league content on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. To ensure the quality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusement Board.
Good evening, everybody! You're tuned in to witness the strongest MLBB players in action. This is MPL Philippines Season 11. Over the course of their campaign, the Phoenix Army has been full of surprises. Gold Lane Zilong, Jungle Hanzo, full swaps, in mid-series. And the latest, well, the greatest upset of the season. As they continue their journey, can Bentings and Biyahing Tagumpay capitalize on their momentum to save their playoffs chance against Yawi and the Orcas? That's what we're gonna find out. This is TNC Pro versus Echo. Casters, pasok!
Last Sunday, Big Game Ben took down the M2 World Champions. Tonight, another world champion stands in his way. Will Biyahing Tagumpay stay the course? We're about to find out. Welcome to Mabuhay at your service. My name is Leo. Here with me tonight is Reptar and Naisu. It's us, We Bear Bros, bringing you tonight's closer. It's TNC versus Echo.
And it's gonna be a titanic task for TNC Pro Team, to say the least. But at this point, it's not far-fetched to say they've got it in them. I mean, look what they did last week to Bren.
And you know, that's a good point that you said that. I'm sitting here thinking, right? I'm letting my brain.
It's that chair.
wheels
Yeah,
go.
it's that
this
chair. Yeah.
But I think that's a big thing is, yeah, they did it last week. Who's to say they can't do it here to round out the night?
Yep. Before we get into the action, we would like to remind everyone to enjoy the power of Smart. When you switch to Smart without changing your number via mobile number portability, or MNP, visit smart.ph/switch to Smart to know more. Now, back into the task at hand. This is again titanic, gigantic, colossal, massive for TNC to be facing off against Echo, but it's not impossible because we have the ABCs of TNC.
Yeah, and the ABCs, I believe, stands for Adobo,
The Adobo.
Ben Things,
Ben Things.
and their C is their captain, which is also Ben Things.
Okay, well, what about the people that don't know what adobo is?
Oh,
It's all right. You're the
dish.
chef. You're the designated chef.
Yeah.
It's a dish. It's really good, and it's what TNC likened their season so far to, where they were just looking for that right mix of the adobo, which seems like they got it. I mean, they got to end the win streak of Branding Sports.
Yep. It's more about the mix of all of these ingredients, and then B, Ben Things, clearly, Big Game Ben, and of course C is both captain and clutch, because any one of them can come in and just say, you know what, it's game time. Who are taking down the biggest and the bestest?
And this, I mean, looking at the highlights here, you know, there's a reason why it was said Big Game Ben, because the guy played Kufra amazingly, and even the Franco, right, when he got his hands on it. So that's why I'm wondering exactly how they approached this series ahead of them, because we have been talking a lot about EXP laners having valuable roamers as well, how they set the pace.
Yep.
And Ben Things is one of those guys that just does it so well. So how does this play out for them in the series ahead of them? Well, they've got momentum, man. To be the ones to snap, what, the 9-win streak of Bren?
Yeah.
That is to say something. So let's see how they play against Echo.
To the viewers watching at home, look at one of your hands. How many fingers you have? 5, probably. That's how many hooks it took from Ben Things in the second game against, in the third game against Brent Esports to turn it around and secure that victory. If you haven't seen it, it is, to me, an Academy Award-winning performance, nay, an Academy Award-winning series that TNC and Brent Esports brought out last week.
And just the same, friends watching tonight, put up both of your hands, count your fingers. That's as many wins in series Bren could have gotten.
Yeah.
But TNC took the last one.
Now you have 9.
What is it bad? That's 9.
And it's still huge. And again, Branding Sports is still number 1. But the fact is, TNC at number 8 took them down. So that's how important and how strong TNC is coming into this matchup against Echo. Again, our M4 World Champions.
And I think momentum is, I don't know if it's underrated, but I would say a lot of people don't consider that, because even if you look at that series where they beat Bren, you can learn a lot from there.
Oh yeah.
And it's not just, oh, Ben Things made plays. Like, there's so much more if you have that breakdown, if you look at that from an analytical perspective. And hopefully they took that and they have adjusted, because yeah, they are a team that obviously needs these sweeps. Like, that's what they need. So if they can get one against Echo, that's huge.
Yep. With that being said, let's go ahead and give this match a little bit more context. Let's throw over to the backstage pass with Manji and Faldas.
Pasok na nga ang Echo sa playoffs, pero kukuha pa rin sila ng puntos na gusto nila para makuha ang top seed. Siyempre, makakalaban nila ang nag-iinit na TNC Pro Team na paulit-ulit na nakakausap natin at nakikita natin sila na nahahanap na nila ang group nila lagi. Nakita natin yun nung nakalaban nila ang Bren Esports. To talk about TNC Pro Team, nandito ang tank ng Echo na si Yawi. Hi, Yawi!
Hello po.
Yun. Yawi, isa sa mga... alam na, yan. Anong tawag sa fans ni Yawi? Yawi Natics ba yun?
Yawi supporters.
Yawi supporters. Alright. Shoutout sa mga Yawi supporters at mga idolo na nandyan. Isa sa mga talagang naging highlight last week ay si Ben Things. Siya nga ang letter B sa ABCs of TNC. Ano masasabi mo sa naging performance ni Ben Things nung nakalaban nila ang Bren Esports?
Lakas niya po.
Malakas siya.
Opo.
Ngayon makakatapat mo si Ben Things. Ano ba tingin mo specifically yung pinagkaiba nyo?
Ano po?
Parang may bumubulong dun eh. Oh. May bumubulong. Oh.
Mas malakas po siya.
Mas malakas siya. Bakit? Bakit? Elaborate. Ba't siya mas malakas?
May mga tips po siya.
Tama. Nanonood ka ng mga Ben Tips?
Opo.
Talaga? Anong pinaka natutunan mo dun sa Ben Tips?
Yung mga itemization niya po.
Itemization. Ay, nanonood ngayon si Ben Tings. Alam ko, kanina nagkita kayo doon. Ano masasabi mo sa kanya? Ayan yung kanina pa bumubulong eh. Kanina pa eh. Ano yung pinagkaiba ni Yawi tsaka ni Ben Tings?
Sabi po ni Sanji, mas pogi daw po.
Oh. Sabi sa'yo yan eh. Sabi sa'yo, yan talaga pa ni Muno, pa si Muno eh. Anong masasabi mo kay Ben Tings ngayon na makakatapat mo sa tank roll?
Good luck sa atin and huwag mo durugin.
Huwag mo ako durugin, sabi ni Yawi.
Tapos may nag-request pa pala isa. Si
Sino?
Sanford daw gusto ko makipagkaldagan kay Jesus.
Si Sanford? Okay, wait. Okay, Okay. Naririnig nyo naman yun? Alright. Due to popular demand, tawagin natin si Sanford. Sanford, liga dito. Sanford. Yawi, dito ka lang. Yan. Sanford. Alright. Sige, sakto. Sa XP din si Jesus, di ba? Alright, sige, mamaya pag-usapan natin si Jesus, ha? Parang nag-ready ka talaga, ha? Meron ka pang meron ka pang bunny ears. Ano tawag dyan? New jeans. Alright. Sanford, nag-trending yung picture nyo ni Daddy JP. Nag-trending yung picture nyo ni Daddy JP. Ayan, tignan natin. Niyakap mo si Daddy JP, back hug. Tapos, may nag-status na kaya pala hindi ka nagre-reply sa akin, Daddy JP. Which is ang inyong manager na si Ma'am Mitch. Ngayon, Sanford, matanong kita, madalas nyo bang ginagawa tong pag-hug sa isa't isa? Ano bang kwento nito ng pagyakap mo kay JP?
Ano po, parang banding po, pero sa akin niya po hinahanap yung wala kay Ma'am Mitch.
Sa iyo, hinahanap yung wala kay Ma'am Mitch. Okay. Ano ba yun? Ano ba yung wala na yun?
Nagyuyusong ako.
Nagyuyusong. Agree ka ba doon, Ma'am Mitch? Agree ka doon?
Nagyuyusong? Hindi ako agree.
Hindi agree, alright. Pero mukhang si Sanford ay mahilig lang talaga maghagag tayo, hag. Yan. Okay, Sanford, kung nakita mo kanina yung kabilang grupo, mukhang nag-aabang sila. Ayan! Op! Eh! Board! Hindi tayo pwede mapahiya. Board, nandito ka na. Board, hindi pwede mapahiya. Board, ang TNC, nasa pinakaibaba sila, pero dinadaan nila sa dance moves eh. So nananalo sila. Ford, hinamon ka ni Hesa, bigyan mo naman. Ford, hindi tayo pwede mapahiya. Hop! Ito na, si Sanford. Ito na, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hop! Board, hindi pwede, Board. Last one. Ayaw mo na. Yakapin mo na lang din. Okay, yayakapin ka na lang daw ni Sanford Jesu, naway ang yakap na yan ay mas magpatibay pa ang sportsmanship nyo sa isa't isa dahil susubukan ng TNC na angatan pa ang puntos nila kalaban ng M4 champions na Echo. Pasa na natin sa mga shoutcasters.
So does that mean TNC is up 1?
Yeah, that's 1-0. Sanford conceded, bro.
Sanford forfeited that round.
Jesu won game 1 for TNC.
Dude, I would forfeit against Jesu as well.
Dude, Jesu is scary. You see the
He's
look in his
always
eyes?
ready.
Once that camera was on him, he was like, oh.
Dude, no.
Bam, bam.
You know what's scary? He didn't even look at the camera. He just knows, dude.
I wonder if he plays like that. Like he's playing at the same time he's dancing.
Let's look for it in the player
He's
camera.
jiving.
Yeah, because what if like he plays like that? Yeah, that's fine.
It's not impossible. And yes, again, the way Manjin, our backstage pass correspondent, just framed it, TNC is in such great spirits. I'm hoping to see that when they walk in, all right? Let's all welcome TNC Pro Team and Echo for this matchup. No matter how many speed bumps along the way, the Echo Express faces all obstacles head on. Limang Echo fans and all, these are your M4 World Champions. They are Echo! The fairy tale run continues. Everyone is open to hop on board. Yahing tagumpay as we welcome on stage TNC Pro Team. And their coaches, Coach Wright and Coach Tic Tac. It's the Orcas versus the Phoenix in tonight's closer, a best of 3. The M4 World Champions are coming in with their championship-winning lineup. It's Benny Cutie, Carl Teasy, Sanford, Sanji, and Yowie.
And at this point in the season, this point in their run, we are incredibly familiar with each of these players bring to the table for Echo. Benny Cutie, one of the best gold laners in the world. His positioning and timing of entries. Carl Teasy, one of the current GOATs. Sanford, an absolute menace, the young man in the EXP. Sanji, always dependable, very flexible for Echo. And of course, Yowie, whether it be a surprising utility type mate or, of course, signature roamer, set